Hola, Ami.
Halo.
Ntar aku. Halo guys. Mana nih? Yang ini. Kemamba Allah Marafi. Sebelum kita nobar guys. Seperti biasa ya, kita nobar segame aja ya, satu game aja ya. Gamenya si ini doang. RRQ GenG. Harus latihan guys. Prediksi berat sih sebenarnya. Ntar gue diserang nggak tapi kalau misalnya gue bilang prediksi kayak GenG. Ya, TDM dulu ya guys ya. TDM. Masih video-video soalnya. Lightning Pak. Ini kenapa pisau knife ini keluar mulu ya? Oh, keluar mulu, cok. Oh, bandel yang mana sih? Mana ya?
Match found.
I'll fight anybody.
Secret
I'll
Oracle.
Everybody.
Wah, lagi ada interview cosplayer lagi. Fokus kah? Lama banget. Katsuo. Gagal fokus coy sama ini coy. Iya kayak gini.
Let the killing begin. Focusing. Time to jump.
Allah Akbar, nembak apa tuh gan. Siang James Bro nipu, sabar.
Cutting through.
Blocking sight.
Three. Reloading.
Got one. 10 seconds until stage change. Stage 2.
Nggak fokus nih, belum fokus.
Time to jump. My potter broke.
Reloading.
Good coy.
Continue. Well done. 3 down.
Night night. 3.
Fire.
Mau saya bisa kepentok loh dari itu loh.
Cutting through.
New stage into
Kantor.
Surprise.
Rekiem belum main. Kemarin Init mati iya.
That's not ready.
Get out of my way.
Nggak tahu tiba-tiba mati.
Please stay fire. Light.
Tuh, gaya banget.
Satchel out. Blocking sight.
My ult.
Kenapa itu chamber jadi klonnya Yoru anjir?
Time to jump.
charge your ults.
Ampun, bisa-bisanya nggak mati.
That's not ready.
DC, net gua DC.
Reloading.
Salah cok.
Final stage.
Cutting through.
Phoenix kill.
My ult's ready.
Disappear. Dead. Three.
Loosen up.
Four.
Who's doing it all himself? Rampage. Spawning.
Joke's over. It begins.
Get out of my way.
Cutting through.
15 kills remaining.
I'm back.
Kau lihat. Kejar coy. Ya EG. Demonan di menit. Cok, masa iya kalah cok?
Distraction.
Gua nembak apa
You want to
salah.
play? Let's play.
Busuk coy. Dah main nonton. Stop.
What do these players have in common? They are performing at the top of their game right now. You gotta have Devaya on top there. I mean that performance that he
Jam
had
berapa?
even
Jam
on,
1
I suppose,
startnya.
on Sage at some point, right?
Yeah.
It
Harusnya
does
ya.
work.
On Sunset, I mean, he knew
Gila
that
tuh
he
kalau
was
Peprek
those
sudah ada
walls,
tuh.
and not only
Wah,
that, just clutching
coy.
out rounds for the team. You know, slightly underrated player for Paper
Siapa?
Rex, but he does provide a lot of
Siapa aja
value.
lah yang
And
menang
at
ya.
the same time,
Ih,
you know,
serbu
you got
cok.
classics, you got Mako in there, you got Saya player, but some of the rookies as well. I think Texture this year, for
Okay.
example, Flashback coming in, they really showed us so much more.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Dan
And
RRQ
100%.
kayaknya.
What
Apa
are
deh,
people doing that they're
Manuan
voting
di-
Mako over Flashback right now? Like, I think 100%
It's like,
Flashback
you
should be
know-
over Mako right now.
Mako is kind of like, standing back just a little bit for this young
Yeah,
gun
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
shine,
And
right?
We're
that's
more
fine.
familiar with Mako.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. I think it's
Oh,
more like
Flash
just like the
Stars.
pedigree of
Fun.
Mako is like
Right.
giving him extra points.
It carries over.
Yeah.
Controller
It carries
bisa ada
over. But yeah,
Jason
you're
coba.
absolutely right. Flashback is just performing so
Gila,
well.
di
And it is so
inisiator
cute in the
Davai,
interviews. He's
Sentinel
just so
Davai.
happy to be here. He's so happy he gets to finally show all of his talent on this world
Sampai
stage. And
match
he's smiling. He's like,
RRQ GenG
I
doang.
can't wait to play. I can't do that. So it just makes me so happy that you have an academy player really getting the best training possible with one of the best teams out there.
Yeah, this is something that DRX is really good at. A lot of people kind of forget because they've had some up and downs that when it comes to like off-season preparation, when they're given time, they're one of the best teams in the world, and they're actually really good at developing talent. Yeah, last year Foxy 9 was a little bit rocky, but they've continued to show that they can adapt and improve.
Right, but Foxy 9 is playing really, really well now, so it's part of that evolution. And speaking of evolution, we are seeing this match once
Head to head
again.
kalah
And
terus
it
ya,
feels like
GenG,
for
apa
RRQ, it feels
RRQ ya?
like GenG is just that boss battle
Baru
that you
sadar.
can't quite pass to get to the next
Well,
level,
not
and you have
yet.
to fight him again and again and again, right? It just seems like these guys, they can't move on until they get past this team, but it's a different team now for both sides, Quack.
Yeah, it's a completely different team. We've seen some improvements. We also did see. And although there were improvements
Bukan
on
Ninja
both
kemarin,
sides, I
internet gua
think,
DC.
you know, right there at the bottom of the screen, you can see the score lines along all three
Gue main
maps.
lagi kan.
Kind of tells you quite a bit. Although it was 13-11,
Dia
RRQ did
sebentar.
make it really close towards the end. I don't know if it's like a bit of mental exhaustion from day one, but they
Ya, dia
kind
nggak
of
tahu.
ran out of steam.
Lolos
Today's a
nggak
new
nih
day, though.
kira-kira?
That's the
Ya,
main
berdoa
Yeah, I mean,
aja lah
it
kita.
was a bit of a rough day with all the technical issues and things,
Semoga
so
lolos.
it was a long day for those teams, and that was kind of like we talked about. Mental was going to be one of the biggest factors in that, so GenG able to weather that so far, but still, like, talking to Ewok, the coach of RRQ, after the
Asalkan
match, he just said,
mainnya
"I know what it is, man, they're just our kryptonite. Like, we keep coming
lebih
so close,
fokus,
but not being able to get over the
anti
line
ikonya
against GenG, and they're going to be really
aman
hungry.
gitu.
Certainly, this
Dan
is like
sampai kena
the
iko,
match that I think
harusnya
if you
bisa
were gonna ask
menang.
them, like, one of their biggest matches of all time, this might actually be it. This might be it.
I mean, wasn't that there that social content where teams were asked who they want to face off in the grand finals, and it was everybody's like, oh, Paper Rex, DRX, and then I think it was RQ was like GenG. You
Yeah.
know what?
Well,
GenG.
yeah.
We'll just go for
But I
GenG.
do feel like that's another thing because,
Tab-
the
tab-
GenG from
ya
last year
itulah.
is different from the
GenG
GenG
kuat
of this
juga
year.
soalnya.
And one big key has to be that main duelist Texture. I mean, we're seeing the highlights, and he is the key
Padahal udah ada
player for
Jemkin
this
loh.
team. He often, at least for this entire week of kickoffs, he's been getting so many consistent performances. In that exact matchup against RRQ, I think, on Icebox as well as Sunset, he got top fragged. 30 frags across both maps, and that's a very big thing. The only map that he didn't quite perform so well on was the second one, the one that RRQ won.
Yeah, I think for Texture, like, what's impressing me is, I think he's even better than he has been. I have long considered him to be the second best Jet player in Korea since basically like the early days, like 2021, other than Buzz. Like, I think Buzz is probably the only player that I would rank higher than him.
GenG
But
juga.
with Texture, the thing that always kind of
GenG
concerned
kocak.
me was his raise. His raise was always kind of a little bit off compared to his jet. You could tell he was so much more comfortable on the jet. He had that extra maneuverability. He was really great with blade storms.
Ah, lihat
The
saya
raise kinda
bandot
felt
nih,
a
saya
little
bandot
off,
nih.
his blast pack was great.
Saya bandot
Raise
lagi
looks
teleponan,
way
Cok,
more
minta
comfortable, way
support.
different. I was gonna say, like,
Kalau David
coming into
dengerin
this year, I
lagu.
thought for RRQ,
Oh,
they
David.
tried to target maps
Biar
where Texture
ngecil.
would be on the raise. It doesn't matter now. Yeah, so we saw it on Sunset.
Crumple the piece of paper,
Kalau
throw
Bani
it in
lagi
the waste
telepon
paper
cewek itu.
basket. That's not a plan he can really pull off now.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work, right? And as you mentioned, Texture performing so well, but part of that is also because how his teammates are able to set him up in this way, right? And it's curious as well to see how Meteor is sharing that duelist role with him,
Texture
right?
apa
Compared to
jungkin?
last year, how Meteor was just pretty much
Gila,
hard
Texture
duelist.
sih
We're seeing how some of the
bener-bener
pressure
jago ya.
is taking off of Meteor and how much better his performance also is.
Hati-hati
I was
ini.
about to say, because Meteor comes in as that sentinel, so if you are about to crack open a site, you got to first go through this guy.
RRQ
And then the
bubarin,
other thing is also, like you mentioned, the
Kalau
duelist
dibubarin
roles.
nggak
Sometimes
mungkin.
Texture goes for that raise, Meteor's there as a jet.
Oh, gue
It's
pesimis
a
ya.
very tough team for RRQ to play against. So the question becomes,
Gue
how
sebenarnya
does
kayak
RRQ really play up against GenG? And I think the main things that we got to focus on is a player, of course, like
Tapi
their
kita
new
harus
pickups.
optimis lah.
Jemkin, Estrella,
Ya
for
sih?
example, they have to work together.
Kita hilangkan
Jemkin,
rasa
we know
pesimis
him to
itu
be a
dengan
very disciplined guy. He's very
optimis,
capable,
oke?
but we've
Oh.
seen that,
Lu
you know,
lihat tuh
sometimes
tekstur, buset
if he
dah.
doesn't get that first pick, it starts to go down, and wow, you can see who's doing all the heavy lifting.
I mean, speaking of Texture and Meteor, right? That's exactly what we were bringing up.
35%.
We can see here, like these pentagons, by the way, for the
Kalau misalnya si
uninitiated,
Texture
they kind of show like where
biasa
I guess,
aja
you know,
mainnya
how
mungkin
much
bisa
the
menang.
players are contributing
RRQ.
to each
Tapi
round
kalau
win,
kemarin
right?
kayak
And we can see
bantai-bantai
that
sih,
Texture and Meteor
lah siapa
definitely
itu,
their
nah.
performances are really leading the pack here, but it doesn't mean to say that Lakia, Munchkin, and Karen aren't doing much.
Precisely. I
Yang
think
penting
like,
jangan kena
one thing to
tricky
take away
aja.
from this, if I could give like a simpler view of this, because this is obviously a very like complicated stat, is that everybody went negative against Texture except Xpharaoh, and he went like +1. So like when it comes down to like how he's performing individually, he's shutting everybody down, and Xpharaoh's the controller, right? So he's like that last line of defense. So that means Texture is getting through multiple layers to get to that player already, and that's really problematic. So it's gonna have to be on Jemkin. It's gonna have to be on some of the other players to step up and shut him down.
Yeah, not just that, but it also gives us a better idea of the playstyles of each team, right? You see RRQ with pretty much a more
Xpharaoh,
perfect
Elmimor.
pentagon there, and it just goes to show that maybe they may not rely as heavily on their duelists.
Rata
but
tapi
we
ya,
can see
RRQ
that, you know,
menang
you have
roundnya
the stats skewed in front of
rata, coy.
Xpharaoh and Elmimor, and I do want to bring that up because
Paling
you know,
gede
of course the
Elmimor
duelists get a lot
Xpharaoh
of
tapi.
attention, but we do have to bring it back as well to that core of RRQ that's stuck together, Quack.
Yeah, to me, actually, it's also just the fact that you got that core. They got to follow in on Jemkin. Jemkin, you know, he's performed really well. But on that game day against GenG, 10 first kills throughout all the board, 12 first deaths. Not really the score. That means there's not, you know, maybe he gets the kills, but that's it. He just dies right
Kill
after.
banget
There's got to
anjing
be a
ini.
follow-up after that. And Estrella might be one of
Gila,
those players that can, you know, provide a bit of that backup. He plays Sky sometimes. You know,
Jemkin,
he's doing the
Jemkin
calling
cuma
for the
berapa?
team. Get more information,
20%
you know,
ya?
really figure out which site is
Kelihatannya.
going to be easier for Jemkin to break through. And then at the same time, got to watch out for, you know, some aggressive plays from GenG. Texture sometimes gets that first opening pick, and then it's a slightly weaker attack.
Speaking of which, where have we seen these two before?
Oh, very familiar, huh?
Right?
They used to be on the same team.
Exactly. They were on a D plus Kia not too long ago. They were playing together at VCT Ascension, and that actually makes me wonder, like, how much of Lakia's IGLing does Estrella remember, and is he going to be able to call that out for his team,
Remember.
especially since he is the one IGLing for RRQ as well and helping shot call.
Yeah, certainly that's going to be a big part of today. With how close it is, the IGLing could be one of those things that pushes one team over the line versus the other. So how well do they
Wah,
remember
gila
each
kalau
other's tendencies?
pertandingan yang
How well
menentukan
can they
lolos
adapt
atau
and predict
pulang
off
itu
those kind of
seru
things?
banget
You know,
harusnya.
individually, Estrella had
Gamenya.
arguably the best performance of anybody on RRQ, so now he
Do
needs
or
to
die.
get it going as both the IGL and continue to have solid, you know, fragging and other things as well, because you're going to need that to get over the line of this team.
Yeah, it feels like he has to do a little bit more so than Lakia at the very least. Lakia, you know, performance-wise, he doesn't, you know,
Dia main di
provide that much
Korea.
in terms of tangible stuff, but intangible stuff, right? That's where he's providing a lot more strategies and stuff for the team, as well as, you know, playing Sova, getting a lot of information. So, although Lakia, we don't see him as often on the server, his value is still there. Estrella, on the other hand, you know, we just need to feel it a lot more, because right now, as soon as like Jemkin starts to fall, you know, maybe you got flips coming in for a second, but then at some point it's not quite enough.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be like, you know, a big thing as well, right? You have Lakia and you have Australia. How well are they going to be able to set up their duelists? Because as we saw in a matchup like this, it's very, very important to set that up because you do have Texture who's probably gonna make the plays, probably gonna get a few more aces this time
Kalau
around
Kus
as
mau
well.
diambil
And we
RRQ
need
boleh nggak,
GenG
Bang?
to really pop up. He
Hah?
hasn't had
Kus
his
diambil
moment
RRQ?
just yet.
Ganti
So we're gonna find out if
siapa?
that does happen. But what better way to do so than taking a behind the scenes look by taking a look at the coaches. We do have Jen standing by with a coaches interview, so let's throw it to her on stage right now.
Thank you guys. I'm standing here with two coaches. 네,
Hey,
오늘 젠지
허세
솔로
배다야.
감독님 그리고 RRQ의 이혁 감독님 만나보도록 하겠습니다. First off, I'm going to start with 솔로 감독님께 먼저 질문 드려보도록 할게요. Now, Texture, he's been unreal in the past couple of games. How have you worked with him to kind of get him to improve that much? 텍스처
Kenapa
선수가 정말
RRQ ganti lightning
어마어마한
fast?
활약을 보여주고 있습니다.
아,
사실 정말 엄청난 성장세를 보여주고 있는데 감독님께서 특별히 좀 텍스처 선수의 성장을 어떻게 도와주셨을까요?
원래 기본적으로 기본기도 좋고 좋은 선수라고 생각도 하고 있는 선수인데 일단은 또 나라 선수가 개인적으로
Nara,
제가
tekstur.
다른 팀에 있을 때
Diperhatiin bener tuh. Siapa yang perhatiin?
좋겠다라고 많이 생각을 했던
Bisa
부분이
predik, coy.
제가 굳이 와서 그렇다기보다는
Buset,
제가
Genji
좀
semua anjir.
부족한 부분, 팀적으로 부족한 부분을 제가 좀 더
Lihat tuh.
채우려고
Wah,
그런
RRQ
게
di underestimate
도움이
nggak?
그래도 없지 않았나.
Wah,
없지
bisa nih kayak gini.
않지만
ngejar.
있다고 생각해서 그래서 잘해.
Poin gua ada emang. Dong.
Well, Texture, he's just naturally a very talented player with great game sense. He's just such a strong player as well. But I think the part where Texture really wanted me.
Kan kemarin Genji udah main kalah. Terus ini pertandingan penentuan dia.
It was in terms of the synergy, and I've tried to work with the guys, tried to add to our games, and tried to pinpoint what we were lacking. And I think that's part of the reason why Texture grew so much, and generally the team grew so much. Well, speaking of Texture, a lot of people say maybe the team is too reliant on Texture and Meteor, and when it comes to the days when they're having a slow start or when they're just not feeling it on the day, the team might struggle. Is that part of your concern as well? 텍스처 선수도 그렇고 메테오 선수가 좋은 모습을 보여주고 있는데 한편으로는
Aku udah like dapat
팀이 너무
KMC-nya nggak?
선수의
Sikat
의존도가
gal, cari gal.
강하지 않나.
Aku aja nggak
이런
tahu
생각이 좀
IG-nya.
무거운 날에는 좀 도전하지 않을까라는 우려도
Ajar
있거든요.
gal.
어떻습니까?
Tempelkan.
절대 저희는 그렇지 않고요. 저희 먼치킨 선수나 라키아 선수나 카로 선수도
Ayo pada
그 두 명의 선수
Kita segame doang ya, Genji RRQ doang ya, seperti biasa ya.
있거든요. 근데 다만 그게
Latihan soalnya.
대회할 때 안 나왔을 뿐이지 충분히 저희 5명 다 잘하는 선수들이라서 그런 걱정은 없습니다.
No, it's not any of my concern. I don't think that's necessarily
Selamat
true.
siang Harye.
Munchkin, Karen, and Lakia.
Sama bang,
they're-
kalau Bani
they're
kelas
all
nyanyi
very good
telur-telur
players,
boleh.
and
Langsung
it's
kita
just that they're
setel.
ready to step up. I have so much faith in them. I feel like maybe on stage they have not been performing up to par, but in scrims they've been doing really great, and I just believe
Bet
in the
Genji
5
all,
members of
buset.
GenG to
Boleh.
be able to pull through no matter what. Lastly,
Oh, ini ada
the
stream
last
sahur,
time you
harusnya
played
ada
RRQ
Raka.
Icebox, you guys were perfectly coordinated. You took it away from RRQ.
Aman
but
aja.
on split though, RRQ almost won most of the duels. So can I get your thoughts on that as well? 일단 지난 RRQ전에서 아이스박스는 준비한 전략대로 좀 완벽하게 승리를 가져가는 모습.
Ewok lemas tuh kakinya tuh.
교전이나 미니 게임에서 좀 RRQ가 우위를 가져가지 않았나.
Lama uga kata dia.
싶거든요. 여기에 대한 생각도 부탁드립니다.
저희가 스플릿을 굉장히 자신 있어 했고 지금도 자신 있지만
Ay, kapan mah.
저희가 공격으로
Doain
시작했는데
aja tahun ini
원래는
bisa
그
masuk
스코어가 반대로 예상을
franchise.
했었거든요. 저희는 그 정도로 자신이 있었는데 저희가 진짜 연습할 때도 안 나오던 실수도 하고 커뮤니케이션도 많이 안 되고 그냥 저희가 못해서 졌다고 생각하고 있습니다.
Well, Split, actually, we
Poin
went
gua
into that
banyak,
map
nggak tahu.
very confident because we think it's one of our strongest maps. And we started an attack, and we actually expected the scoreline to be the other way around. I guess we weren't just performing as well as we did in scrims, and also it's just little mistakes here and there that the players made. And I think we still have a very strong split, and that we should have no problem. Thank you very much, Solo. And now I'm gonna turn to you, 이웍. 이제 RRQ의 이웍 감독님 만나보겠습니다. You forced GenG to map 3. Won a lot of aim duels against them, and but at the end of the day, it just wasn't quite enough.
Kenapa
What were you able to
mukanya
pinpoint
merah
from the
gitu,
last
coy?
series against GenG? 젠지 상대로 풀세트까지 끌고 갔고요. 또 교전에서도 확실하게 승리하는 모습을 많이
kalau latihan
보여주기도
gitu,
했는데요.
Bang Gil juga ada nggak
하지만
kelihatan?
승리를 놓쳤다는 아쉬움이
Jadi,
남습니다. 지난 젠지전에서 좀 어떤 부분을
Eh,
진단할 수 있었을까요?
ya,
For us, when
soon.
we went and analyzed our games, it felt like when we were fighting together, we felt like we were doing really well. And we felt like we were the stronger team when we were fighting together. We feel like that we had a couple of duels where we were too solo, we're a little bit too stretched out on the map, and maybe taking some duels that we shouldn't have. And it kind of reflected in the first kill, first death, where it's mostly when we're on solos, not when we're as a group. So that's something that we hope to improve for this match.
사실 이 RRQ가 팀원들이 같이 싸울 때는 많이 그 교전에서 이겼는데
Bani kata dia.
그 스탯에서도 볼 수 있었다시피 좀 퍼스트 킬과 퍼스트 데스 스탯을 보면
Prediksi.
혼자 싸우거나 아니면
Kemarin kalah
이제
2-1
싸워주지
ya.
않아도 되는 교전을 싸우거나
야, 야, 야,
아니면
야,
한
야.
명이 너무 멀리
Ini dong,
있었을
grup
때 너무 멀리
motor
퍼져
dong.
있었을 때 좀 그런 데스가 많이 나왔고 교전에서의 아쉬움이 나왔던 것 같기 때문에 그런 부분을 이제 지난 젠지전 돌려보면서 분석을 했었고요. 또 그런 부분을 오늘 경기에서는 좀 더 고친 모습, 나아진 모습을 보여줄 거라고 얘기를 합니다. Well then communication will be very important today, especially because it's do or die. But you picked up Estrella as the secondary caller, but the language barrier isn't something you can't entirely ignore. How much of that language aspect
Optimis nggak?
affects your
Pesimis,
communication
Bang
and
Re?
more so the team's performance?
So the language thing is always just something that's going to take time. It's something that we learned through last season as well, where we went through the same things. And now for Gun, Estrella, he's just the next one that is now dealing with sometimes a little bit of a struggle on the language barrier. But for us, it's important to be understanding. And with the more playtime we get, the more matches we get, the better it gets. So we just hope to continue that trend.
제가 이제 오늘 특히나 팀의 커뮤니케이션이 굉장히 중요할 텐데 사실 에스트레이어 선수가
Cuma ayam bisa.
서브로도
Betul, Bang
팀을
Re.
이끌게 됐지만
Itu
언어
betul
장벽이
banget.
아직까지 존재하기 때문에 좀 그런 언어적인 요소에서 얼마나 조금은 힘들다는 점을 체감하고 있는지 여쭤봤는데요. 사실 이 언어
Menurut Bang
장벽이라는
Kaca, RRQ ada
작년에도
chance menang?
RRQ가
Ada.
좀
Chance
이슈가
menang
있었던
mah ada.
부분이고 그리고 언제나 이런 선수들
Apalagi kemarin mainnya
커뮤니케이션에 있어서 조금
nggak
더
yang kebantai banget
보완을
gitu
해야
loh.
하는 부분이었고 또
Gelo, gelo, Bang Re, gelo.
좋았기 때문에 이제는 에스트레야 선수가
Langsung
당연히
pasang
이제
manja kah?
좀 힘든 역할을 맡기도 했었는데 그래도 팀원들 전체로 모두 이해를 해줘야 되고 조금 더 전체적으로 기다려줘야 하는 부분이기 때문에 끝까지 지켜보면 좋겠다고 얘기를 했습니다. Well then, last but not least, last time Texture gave you a really hard time with this super plays. Any plans to shut him down today? 지난번 젠지전에서는 텍스처 선수의 슈퍼 플레이에 RRQ가 고전을 했었거든요. 오늘은 좀 텍스처 선수에 대한 대비책이 있을까요?
Yeah, in the days that we have off, we've made efforts to try and analyze his gameplay and the style that he will actually play. If he's being predictable, then we're going to try and punish that. So for him, I think he needs to be unpredictable to stop that from happening. I think he's been playing extremely well.
Wah, ini kelebihan
But
0
it's something that we
sebiji.
definitely look into and it's
Cantik banget,
a
anjir.
good
Parah,
win
anjing.
condition for them. So
Parah ya, pai-pai ya.
We definitely
Wah,
look at
kacau.
Texture's right there.
Gelo, Bang Red. Sangat-sangat
굉장히
percaya
잘하는
dengan
선수이기도
RRQ
하고,
kah? Gelo.
그 지난
Indo
젠지전에서
Pride manja nih,
RRQ가
Bang.
상당히 고전했기 때문에
Bang Ray nih, kayak
텍스처
gini.
선수의 스타일이나 좀 좋아하는 각들, 좋아하는 포지션 등을 연구했다고 하고요. 그렇기 때문에 텍스처 선수가 오늘 예상 가능한 플레이를 보여준다면 이제 RRQ가 그것을 최대한 잡아먹을 준비를 했다고 얘기를 합니다. 그렇기 때문에 또 텍스처 선수가 젠지의 크나큰 승리 조건인 만큼 오늘 예측 불가능한 플레이를 많이 보여주는 게 좋을 것 같다고 또 조언을 해주셨습니다. Well, thank you, coaches, for your insights. And
Siap
back
Bang
to you guys on the
Re,
test.
boleh.
You
Lagi
gotta
lagi.
love that from Jen. Hey, how are you gonna shut down Texture? Tell him. He's
Yeah,
sitting
he's right over
He's
there.
right
Yeah.
over there. Tell him right.
Tell it to his face.
Ini tuh
Tell him
perkara
to his
tekstur
face.
aja nih.
But yes, I think even our plushies
Bisa
over
di
here kind of
shutdown,
seeing the
ada.
theme of what we're going through, right? The power of friendship for RRQ. Can they actually come together? I did do that, Quack. Can they actually come together in time for this match?
It is that story. Whether or not they can do it in time, that's a whole other thing. I do feel like if power friendship really is your, strongest suit, then you have to make sure that you operate as a team, operate as a unit.
Ntar lagi
Don't
mulai
let
nih, guys.
GenG pick you off, because if you're in a 4v5, then you
Meteor,
don't really
iya.
have the numbers, you can't back yourself up.
Tapi
then the whole game's
kalau
lost. That can't be the
Akia
story,
belum
right? So
kelihatan
you
dari
still
kemarin.
need some individuality.
Yeah, and it is a bit concerning though, because you saw like in our pentagram, right? It was almost full the whole way. Like it almost became a pentagon,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like it was very close because there's very equal distribution of
All
the win
throughout,
conditions and
yeah.
all these things throughout the team. That's great, but still GenG out assisted you the last time you played, so they were even having better teamwork than you. Even though Texture and Meteor were like performing like crazy, it was because the rest of the team was setting them up for success. So we need to see more popping off from Jemkin. We need to see more individual firepower along with that teamwork.
And I feel like for the side of RRQ, they have anticipated this, right? They know that eventually GenG was going to get a lot of first blood. So
nggak jelas
what
lu
is their
nyol,
backup,
anjing.
right? How can that core that we were talking about, right?
All
LB
in
or
game,
Flips
all
and
in
2GE,
GenG,
how can they
tapi
band together to make sure that
Ayo
even though
RRQ.
maybe there's a maybe Jemkin doesn't get it, right? How can they ensure that that still does
Akia be
convert
aja
to a
kalau
win for
meter
them?
sama
I mean, I
tekstur
do
baru
feel like kind of
gimana,
that's
ya
what
kan?
Ewok was talking
Belum
about.
kelihatan si
maybe kind
itu
of get a feel for
Akia.
get a feel for texture, anticipate his movements, get a read for how he's about to operate on the map.
Anjing.
And if
Ah,
you know if he's
bilang
going
aja
to
emang
peek
mau
out against you, get that
dukung
opening pick,
GenG kan lu.
whole defenses against him, whole defaults against him. And if you can disable players like Texture, Meteor, then you're going to have a much easier time. So that could be an idea.
And as we can see right now on our predictions, we can see that there are some here in favor of RRQ, even though it seems like GenG right now, they may
Wah,
have somebody
banyak
who
yang dukung
is in the
GenG,
running for
coy.
like top dualist of the year, right? But we can see that William, I think he's
Gua
watched
ngikutin-
part by the way.
Kita ngikutin yang mana, coy?
He's,
You are
he's,
shocked.
he's wearing his RRQ jersey.
Yeah, he's wearing his jersey.
He's wearing his jersey.
He
He's on the
100%
watch
is. You're
party.
absolutely right. Absolutely
He's
right.
I see you.
He's like, come on, guys, what are you talking?
His brand new
Oh, si
jersey,
William
but
mah udah
yes,
pasti RRQ,
I mean,
Cok.
like, again, I think it's still 50-50 given how close
banget
the
ya.
matches between these two teams can be.
Absolutely. I had a really hard time deciding today because I think I have a lot of faith in Coach Ewok. I really like this RRQ team. I think they're great players. I'm just still a little bit concerned about the
Yang
overall
anggar
firepower
bagus.
that
Nah,
GenG
kita
brings.
dukung
I
bareng
know
anggar
that Ewok
bagus.
has identified, tendencies of Texture that he wants to shut down. I don't know that you can.
Yeah.
Same here. I mean, that says it all. It's just
William
gotta
RRQ
see and hope that
believer,
RRQ maybe can do it, but right
anjay.
now,
Tuh, coy.
logically, GenG.
Yeah, I feel like RRQ is just that kind of team that builds team over time. I mean, we did see it last year,
Yes.
right? So I feel like for kickoff, maybe not quite yet, but I do believe I will vote for RRQ one day. I mean, I owe you guys that, okay? So eventually, maybe later on in the rest of Pacific. But for now, we are going to get right into this match. We're going to check out our teams walking out on stage and see how they are as we get into GenG versus RRQ.
GenG. Start.
네, 안녕하세요. 젠지 e스포츠에서 활동하고 있는 텍스처 김나라입니다.
김나라입니다.
랑 하면서 좀 많이 느꼈던 게 저희가 1세트 때는 분위기가 되게 좋았고 그렇게 스타트를 했는데 2세트 때 좀 실수가 많았다 보니까 이길 라운드를 좀 계속 지게 되다 보니까
Gimana kemarin yang kalah dia mana ya? Breeze ya? Parah banget ya.
RRQ가
Satu.
다시 만나게
Harusnya
됐는데
dia OT
사실
menang.
뭐
11-13 ya?
이기면서 올라왔고 저희가 손이나 뭐 머리나 다 풀린 것 같고 팀적으로 합이나 이런 것들이 더 좋다고 생각을 해서 이번에 다시 붙을 때는 2대0으로 그냥 깔끔하게 끝내겠습니다.
Hi guys, my name is Xfero and I'm from Team RRQ. My role in the team, I think, is to make everyone laugh, make the practice a bit fun because they are so serious. GenG is a really great team, and for me personally, I think we're gonna beat them now because we have so many strats in the game that we can do like tactic A, B, C until Z. Like starting with our victories to GenG, we're gonna.
Age
win
Gunawan
this
udah nggak ada,
tournament.
Cok. Tahu kemana
I'm
dia?
gonna show you
Kalah
guys
pulang,
who's the
kalah
stronger.
turu. Kalah turu sampai bengong berapa bulan gitu. Kalah. Apa kabar? Baik, don't have.
With 3 matches won and an all-time map score of 6-2 over their opponents, they're looking for the 4-peat. Please welcome to the stage, GenG!
Genja. Apa ya yang menang? Kira siapa ya yang menang ya? Tung siapa? Siapa ya? Kita harus Indopret apa gimana Joy? Kita mesti Indopret sih. Ya. Kita karena ada saya bandot, kita harus dukung saya bandot. Oh, lihat tuh saya bandot. Let's go RRQ tuh, lihat tuh. Ada yang teriak. Tapi kurang gak ada yang support tuh, udah teriak tuh padahal. RRQ lah. RRQ yang menang nih. Dukung yang menang aja dah, soalnya yang pasti kemarin udah jelas dua Susanto, gue setuju sama lu Viper. Gue setuju sama lu. Peperek sama T1 yang ke Madrid ya. Togi kok nggak main dia, padahal bagus dia di kemarin lama. Gak tahu kenapa dia nggak dimainin. Elmi More. Bani nanya, kita ngomong apa nih? Jaya. Oh, Bani yang nge-call ya? Bani ya?
Alright, here we are, and the map pick
Buset,
and
rame
the
tuh.
bans. And the biggest question, of course, is if we're gonna get a remake exactly of what happened just a few days ago, Quack.
I don't know. I mean, you definitely want to avoid some things, and not only just that. You watch how GenG played that breeze against Paper X.
Ben
Really
Eisen.
good, so I think RRQ might want to, avoid some of it.
Bani sudah main jet lagi ya.
Yeah.
Udah nggak bisa dia.
It's like
Udah
okay,
tua
so
dia.
notice you got to see that, with GenG against Paper X. So now you've got some tape on this map. Again, it is something that wasn't horrible at all for GenG. It was like 10 to 13. So, it is a map that, again, Meteor and Texture were popping off on, really pushing Paper X to the limit. Is this going to be something that RRQ is going to truly have well prepared here? Because last time their pick of Icebox didn't go their way.
Just check out how they're scratching.
HSK
Really
yang tengah ini ya.
This is why I think it's
Kalau dari
interesting
samping
to
kayak
also see the coaches with
Eka nggak sih,
the
kayak
picks
Eka
and bans,
Gustiwana.
so you can see where they kind of struggle. Are they going to bring this out? Are they not going to bring this out? And this one, they're really scratching their heads on this.
really like considering all their options right now. But yeah, back to that Lotus.
Aduh,
Right?
Cok,
You know,
Lotus
RRQ
di-pick.
did
Kenapa
pick it
tuh?
a few times, several times last year. Wasn't the greatest either.
Wow.
So I am a little bit scared. And now that Breeze is definitely being selected by
Wah,
GenG,
Breeze lagi di-picknya.
unless RRQ has done their homework, unless they really do have something that we haven't seen before. If they don't win Lotus and they go into Breeze and GenG plays that same Breeze that they did against
RRQ.
Paper
I wonder why they were like,
Then-
we put out Breeze already. Do we not? Kind of makes me wonder what they have planned for this.
Yeah, I think they're a bit.
Oh,
taken
Icebox
aback by
pengen
the Lotus
dimainin
pick.
dah kayaknya sama RRQ.
Definitely made them kind of scratch their heads.
Sunset
Wait a
di-ban
minute,
kan,
we
kemarin
expected them
bawa
to
SOEK
lean into
hampir.
Icebox again or something like that. Okay. But
Feeling
basically,
gua
the
Icebox
two
sih.
maps that were left open last time,
Tapi kalau
they got
GenG yang
banned.
milih
The
kayaknya
second
dia
phase
pengen
that
ke
they're gonna
split
play
dah.
here this go around. So, you know, both teams kind of obviously with GenG having success against Paper X on Breeze, feeling a lot more comfortable on that. And for RRQ, I think just feeling we need to change something up. We need to do something different to get over the line today.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they need to do on all fronts, right? But as we know, you know, the maps can basically
Lemas
enable
gue,
or
apakah
disable
saya
a
off
player
awal-awal,
entirely, right?
kenapa?
And I do know that RRQ, of course, they have their eyes on texture, but I'm not sure, especially with that Bree. I'm looking at that
Apa
Breeze
tuh
map,
jadinya?
you know?
It's always something that you want to wonder about. And Breeze is such a big map. There's a lot more space.
Oh,
for
Icebox,
RRQ.
coy!
Unless RRQ, you know,
Map
really
3,
has
wah.
to counter him, it's not going to work out great. And I was
Jalannya
just wondering
RRQ
about
nih.
this, and we're left with Split and Icebox. It's very likely that
Harusnya
GenG
ya.
is gonna ban out Icebox. They won, I mean, ban out Split and play Icebox. They won Icebox against RRQ. So this is a very perturbing map pick and ban coming out from RRQ as
Kotaknya
well.
enak
I
RRQ,
really
iya.
hope that they have something planned for this.
Yeah, this first map is going to be very,
Ya!
very, very.
Udah mulai nih,
important
lo
for
lihat
RRQ.
tuh.
You don't exactly want to go overtime,
Udah ada
especially if they
kru,
remember what texture
udah ada staff
that
tuh
they're
benerin.
on.
Ah,
Yeah, no,
kir
I mean,
isu
again,
kah
this
ini
is
coy?
why I talked about it earlier, is that
Technical isu
Texture's
kah?
so good on Jet. He's so comfortable. He can do it all. He can op, he can bladestorm, he can rifle. He's the full package when it comes to Jet. So those are maps that generally you want to try to avoid. That's why I think both times we've seen RRQ lean into maps that potentially might go a little bit. Oh, the chamber finally!
Oh, Hage memakai chamber.
Can I change my prediction?
Ini baru coy. Hage chamber.
Solely because they're actually playing chamber.
Very interesting, and we do have texture on the Raze, which we were pointing out earlier, might not be as flashy as his
Sentinelnya
Jet.
solo
So
chamber.
we're gonna see. It's gonna be Jemkin and texture who gets the one up on this.
There's a chance. There is a chance. Not just, you know, Jemkin and Texture too. I
Big
mean, the way
RRQ
RRQ
1
operates
juta.
with Jemkin is very different, but at the same time, I mean, this is a very big thing. You've got that chamber coming through. Chamber, if Elmemore can actually, you know, make use of those abilities and find those frags against these GenG players, especially up against someone like Meteor, open up that C site, you know, allow the whole team to go
Open
in.
up
This
the
will be great for us.
And he's a Sheriff God. Like, so the Headhunters are perfect for him. I love this pick. I'm so happy to see this. I was really hoping we'd see this more from, for example, Zeta Division, maybe later today, but this is a really good, I think, chance here for RRQ to really show that not only do they have the tactics, the strategy, the teamwork, now they can showcase some of their firepower as well.
Not to mention, I mean, Meteor, he might be on the Killjoy. He's still cosplaying as a duelist sometimes.
Yeah, oh, he was nuts last time. He was nuts.
I mean, like, okay, you might be Sentinel, but we all know where your heart really is. So that's still something to look out for, and it's gonna be interesting how that's gonna match up against the chamber, right? Because you could be having Meteor on
Kemarin
the top
internet
occasionally,
gua
which could
apa
be a
DC
very,
bentar.
very interesting showdown indeed.
Ninja
Any
guys,
final
yeah.
thoughts, gentlemen? No, you cannot change your predictions.
Dang, come on. You're such a tyrant, Mika.
No,
First time
no
Jess
change
came
your
to a third,
predictions.
she's
No, don't make me second guess myself either. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Look, I'm gonna stick to GenG because I still have faith in how, you know, they work as a team, how much individual firepower they have. But I will just point out one last thing is that, you know, you've got the single soul initiators, Fade, Lakia, Estrella. I would like to see more from Estrella. We know that,
Aku
you know,
baca
Lakia
RRQ, Bang,
can have a lot of
mantap.
lineups and provide a lot of information for the team, but for Estrella, I want to see that follow-up. We don't have flashes now, so gotta follow it.
I need to see more from Munchkin. That's
Oh,
it. Last slot.
Definitely. Will today finally be the day RRQ gets one up on GenG? We're gonna find out as we head into Lotus, over to Achilles and Aserai.
Lama amat nih, harusnya mulai
Thank you
nih.
very much. Yes, here we go again. Fourth time. Is it the charm here for RRQ, or will GenG continually deny them access into any form of playoffs? We're going to find out as we get ready.
Cepet 5.000.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited to see
If you
how
win.
this is going to kind of unravel now, because it feels like now that we're a little bit deeper into kickoff, a lot more of the teams are getting warmed up. They're a lot more confident of themselves, and a lot of, I think, evolution throughout the days has been happening with a lot of these. Again, with a lot of the ones that we have seen in the past couple of days. Sorry.
Yeah, I do find myself frustrated though as we get ready to go into this one, because it's really exciting on the side of RRQ. They're going back to Lotus, which at the beginning of last season was something that they continuously tried to do, and it kept not looking good. I have a hell of a lot more faith in it this time around.
Minum
But we have
susu dulu nggak
Elmore
sih,
coming
guys?
out on the chamber. Why isn't Meteor playing chamber? We could have had this head-to-head. This is just like Laz versus Extra. Why are we not doing this?
Hagai
Because
jadi
Meteor, he made
ini kah?
his career. He
Chamber
started his
udah kayak
career
Onyx zaman dulu.
on that pick. That's what launched him to fame.
Mulai, fokus.
Not coming through with it, but all the same, let's go ahead and get ready to get into the game and see who is going to be coming out on top, because Chamber or not, Meteor has looked good. As the desk was saying, this guy, he's basically a duelist, but wearing Killjoy's clothes.
Yeah, and don't forget about how much impact he was able to do with those sparks of his. Even just on this Killjoy, he does not miss a beat.
defend dulu nih.
Again, him not being on that chamber. Another thing I just wanted to point out here, Achilles, real quick, is Jemkin, when they were up against GenG last time that they faced against them, he was
AUD-nya hilangin bisa kali? Halo.
as the
Bisa nggak sih hilangin AUD-nya? Ya nggak sih? Kalau kayak gini terus mau gimana? Oh iya, tutup.
This elimination match.
Sure. I mean, we saw the really fast start for Jemkin, but then just wasn't really able to maintain that performance that he was putting up. Went like 12-3.
Yeah.
Next thing you knew, it was 12-9, and then he just wasn't climbing nearly as much. So that momentum did not last very long, and that's something that RQ, they need to have him very much moving forward here.
Definitely slowing down. Bit of contact already here as Link is open. It seems like GenG able to push in quickly onto that A site.
Couple shots going to be exchanged there. Munchkin going to be whittled down to 62, but put some damage out onto Astray as well.
Buta, weh.
Haunt finding some
nice.
Swing onto the corner, Astray able to find Texture. He can take it down, but now Charon finding Sparrow. So Omen battle.
Bantuin nggak sih?
Meteor swing the corner. He'll come up with 2 more kills as Jemkin and Astray both fall. Now just flips an Omen more.
Ya. Nice man. Right click man. Aduh.
Charon's going to be able to find the kill.
Hagai mang headset nih.
The jump peek there over at drop. Lakia trying to spot him out. To be able to find anything there with that frenzy. The swing around coming through from Charon. Trying to peek. They don't see him. The slide down.
Antek berdua lagi.
Bullets locked in. They're looking for the double
What?
face. The headshot comes
What?
in. Doable. We're swapping now over onto that headhunter. But as he tries to go for that tap on the spike.
Gua kira itu tadi teriakannya Bani loh.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Again, the pressure on Jemkin to
Suara aman kan? Suara in game.
step up the pace when GenG
Okay
goes
nggak
for
suara
those
in game?
presses. You saw that they doubled up on the back of the site, but somehow he wasn't really able to convert the kills, whether it's the positioning, whether it's, again, the nerves hitting him. He really needs to get that step up. And just looking into the other replays that we had here, GenG, again, showing how confident they are using Texture as that spear tip into the site. They've done it in the past couple of days, and they're keeping that momentum here and now.
Alrighty, well, maybe it is me. It's just, you know, I've been trying to shift the blame over to
Hey,
the likes of
welcome to
T1,
membership,
but maybe
Aziz.
ultimately, it's my fault. I have nothing else to say on the back end of
Yang
that.
teriak
I mean,
tadi
just 'cause
dan
every time I'm
RRQ si
here.
Kojon
Is
saha.
it just the Achilles curse?
Dan suara
It seems
casternya
to
bang
be the case.
It's
kacau
like
daripada
third day. I haven't
gamenya.
had like, you know, those long tag pauses, but I was telling Paper
Ya
Thin,
Allah,
you know,
udah
when you
take
see
pause
it,
aja.
don't give it any light of day. Just don't think
Gimana,
about it.
Cok,
It'll
cara
eventually pass.
kecilin suara caster sama suara game?
If
Coba.
Paper Thin and I are both
Kan nggak ada settingannya.
that's what makes it happen. Because the
Kecilin
other
nih.
days have been smooth,
Suara
but
gamenya
you
juga
guys have been
kecil.
here, which is why it's been so enjoyable.
Bener-bener,
last
lu
couple
pada
broadcast days. But
rugi
maybe
dong.
that's what it is. Oh, he is.
Woi, udah 4 hari nggak ada perubahan. Kocak, masih aja technical
Are
pause.
you really a duo with somebody?
Anjing.
If you can just really grind each other's gears a little bit. I think
All right, I've been there. I've ridiculed my duo plenty of times already.
any friendships, you know, when it hits a certain point,
Yeah.
you feel that comfortability to just be able to really just take stabs at one another. But
Kemarin
we'll,
kenapa
we'll give you
kagak
update as far
nobar
as
kok?
what's going on here. We'll of course
Keperek,
push that information forward to you guys.
Keperek
Hopefully
GenG
it's something
nobar,
that
abis
dealt with
itu,
very quickly so that we can get back in. Because obviously so far
Gila,
we've
udah
only
4
seen
hari.
that pistol round very
Ada
narrowly
perubahan,
won
Cok.
by the side of GenG. But potentially a worrying trend.
Masih aja ya
True.
technical pause.
Another thing again,
Fokus.
you know, just looking into this, I think Des was also talking about it, is how the change of the maps truly have been. It just feels like both RRQ and GenG banned out Breeze and Lotus in the previous match that they played against, maybe just to save a couple of the strats, maybe just to not really show anything, but now that it is again, I told Nika to say this, but I don't think she did on the desk. The qualification day, you know, qualification and elimination day at the same time.
I see. I wonder why she didn't say.
Is it the
but I mean, it's very true. I mean, this is the last legs for a lot of these teams. Obviously, still that playing-in is on the horizon, so there's plenty more opportunities.
Gue cuma match sini doang gue nonton.
Make it there is still going to be.
Gue ada latihan soalnya.
You know, non-double elimination. It's just that single elims. You have to be able to win out from here if you want to be able to go over towards Madrid.
Yeah, the absolute amount of stress that these teams will have to go for, and again, just being able to.
Cok, take pause nggak berhenti cok, selalu ada. Di zaman dulu, dari hari pertama.
It feels like it should be GenG getting that big advantage. I think it's only me and Will. I actually don't know why. I forgot the reason why I actually predicted RRQ. I mean, I saw the players that I remembered. You know, Flipsider. He was one of the players that I really liked when he was still in the Indonesia scene. So, you know what? This is just gut check, gut feeling. But we're back. Let's go.
That we are. It seems like everything is taken care of, and that's just going to be Meteor finding a quick kill. Outlaw into his hands. Ellymore eliminated. Right over outside of C-Mound where that double push was looking to come through. Flipsider still inching forward, but with the alarm bot set up, the turret there, as well as Meteor still in the wings, as well as only having a classic. I'm not sure if Flips is going to be able to find too much.
Agak sudah kecolong.
Take outside of A. Texture, the shot.
Yeah.
And there you go. High pen weapon. Munchkin able to take down Jemkin.
There's a big flank that's coming from Flipsider here, but Meteor's already just
nge-flank, sudah dipantek sama Meteor.
He is
hari-hari Bani
dikejar.
dikejar.
That means like Sparrow's just gonna hold the site by himself as the paranoia hits him.
Away alongside the
ya, kena timing David.
Munchkin swings the corner, manages to catch him in the head with the Guardian. So right now on for a flawless anti-eco is GenG.
You just have to recall Flipsider because he really can't do that battle against Meteor with the one-shot, one-kill, even at body shot. So other direction they go.
Swings back around, but it seems like RRQ very much happy to just kind of sit back, wait and see if anyone does happen.
Dia ngejar.
Texture says, okay,
Dia ngejar.
Swaps over the coast.
Oh, lu lihat tuh. Bani lihat nih. Bani menang nggak nih?
The headshots, the flawless not quite going to be able to come through. And ultimately, Flips can just sacrifice himself over towards the spike.
This is where I think teams start to get, you know, a lot more, at least looking to buys, a lot more aware of the Outlaw. Because, again, if you buy on your save round, even just an upgraded pistol, and you're forced to half shield against an Outlaw,
okay, ini run sesungguhnya, guys.
Very powerful that can really be. And speaking of powerful, GenG, you know what? It feels like there's no resistance from RRQ on the defense. There's no heat check whatsoever. It's really just GenG walking up, getting these quick kills, and then transitioning or getting more advantage after that.
And one of your biggest tools for trying to, you know, spin around like that would be that chamber, but having Ellymore go down first and foremost certainly hurts their odds. Looks like he's going to be looking for a similar push.
Agak kenapa pakai SOL anjay?
And for now, Outlaw is getting ready to swing the corner and takes the shot. It's just a hair off there from finding the opening kill onto Texture. Makes it out with his life intact, however.
They can press this though. That rendezvous is
Belum
going to be
ngeri banget
offline
tadi
for a
Hage,
couple of
kalau
seconds,
one
so they
tap
want
kena
to go
sih
for
keren.
that contact without Ellymore getting out of harm's way with his TP out. This is the perfect time for them to do so. But for now, it's just, again, slowly checking the angles, making sure that every crevice we see does not have any traps laid out by RRQ.
That's the thing, just having that chamber, you know, the trademark, really the only trap that you have.
Itu nggak mau cari info apa ke orang A-nya? Sumpah. Oke gini sih digebukin, cok. Tuh.
Instead, you're more than fine.
Retake, oke boleh kalau mau retake, boleh.
Trademark is not even here, so Texture for now moving forward does grab that spike. The plant here, just at the base of the ramp. And now on RRQ.
Buset, ini berdua banget nih di sini.
Going down though, and Viper Toxic
Wah,
was
gila.
used on A.
Gila.
Here they come.
Posisi ini, Cok.
Delay.
Ah, jatuh.
Brief little moment. GenG, however, pushing forward, does manage to find Locky. Traded back.
Oh,
down to
nice.
Karen. Tell me more. Finding
Aduh.
another. Back and forth between the two squads.
Woi,
Karen.
yang bener aja.
One of two left standing. 22 HP remaining here. On
Ya, nggak tahu. Lah.
Can't
He's got
find
a
him.
big backstab opportunity.
Lah.
Trying to get himself over here towards the spike. Taps
What
it,
the
but he's not ready
fuck?
for flank angle.
What the hell di bawahnya dia, Cok.
Beautifully piloted here by Karen. The movement
Aduh.
so very perfect to get
Ente
GenG
banget,
into
David.
bonus.
Not
Tuh
just that,
kelihatan
it's
ya.
him and Meteor
Temennya
working
juga
so
nggak
well in
ngeliat
tandem
lagi.
that you saw that every
Coba
single
lihat ya.
time RRQ was
Ada nggak
trying to go
POV-nya si
for
David?
the kill, you know, secure that site. They
Gue
have
penasaran
these,
POV-nya David,
again,
Cok.
quick
Aduh,
trades,
nggak
not
ada
even
lagi.
trades, just quick punishes to let them
Ketutupan kayaknya
stay
tuh.
in the site and keep that spike from getting diffused by any player of RRQ.
Ya, RRQ tim Indo.
Now just jumping on top of the wall, not looking down, not expecting. The enemy Omen just resting beneath his feet. Sees nade combo attempt over here at A. No one there to receive it as Elmi Moore quite far forward.
Ayo, guys, kasih one tap, guys.
So Raze can get on top of him very quickly.
Itu ada tangannya, guys.
The Prowler chasing,
Ay,
tries
si
to go for the blind
Ba-
shot, see if he
iya,
can
iya.
find anything.
Tangannya kelihatan, anjir.
You're not exactly trying to rush this one down, but still put a good amount of damage into it.
Look at this, RRQ's
Yang
just
bener
rotating
aja.
already. You know, there's
Aja.
an opportunity or a possibility here where Texture just throws out his showstopper now that it's available for him. Just chase down Elmi Morton's already injured, already used to get that rendezvous. They've been using this to just hard press their opponents. Here on the other side though. Yeah.
Aduh, aduh.
Punching really far forward against that wall. Now
Then
just
up
drifting
the
away.
stairs.
Looks like RRQ kind of getting a decent sense of what is going to end up happening here. Smoke comes down. It flips a little bit of added protection. B-side pivot certainly is possible though
Hancurin?
for GenG.
Oh, nggak ada yang kena.
There is
Aduh, di dok. Wah, najis udah keding loh. Si David udah kesel tuh, anjir lah doknya.
Either way, Munchkin does get
Prowlernya.
down, but Sparrow unable to hold the
Ya,
torch.
hai, nice ban.
Managing to find Meteor. If he can recover the weapon, that would be an outlaw, but B-side is going to be a bit more close quarters. Jimkin backing away, the paranoia helping to save his life. Now RRQ to see if they can try to take this site back.
Look at the positioning though. Everybody from GenG
Oh,
has
plannya
gone
Kelly
towards
nggak?
Link, so maybe they can get separated here and start defusing that spike.
It's just right here around the corner. Now the showstopper further delaying, just buying time here for GenG. RRQ, they know that they can't even go close to this damn thing. It's going to be sent
the
forward.
tag.
Damage not really going to be
Ya, Karon, Karon.
Game ends up getting taken out. Jimkin finding the kill. Time, however, still dwindling.
Bani
RRQ
nyuruh
still in a
diffuse
rough spot to try
tek.
to be able to find this round
Ban,
win.
ban lu jaga gitu,
Down
jaga apaan,
straight
ban?
Munchkin finishing off that low HP Viper, but they can't get this spike. They can't hold on to this one. They need to try to clear it out. They finally
Wah,
do. But
ente
just
dah.
weapons not even recovered.
Gak bisa itu.
Spike will erupt. All of RRQ
Gak akan
taking
muncul
out
juga di
GenG,
crosshair Bani
win the
sih.
round, but their bank it gets broken slightly.
Yeah, I think that was just
Ente,
a round where
ente,
you
guys.
realize, yeah, we're not going to survive this, but we can win the round very
Wah,
quickly.
itu
If we
David
just
kesel banget
do
sih.
exactly this. The contact that they've done wasn't really to trade efficiently for themselves. It was them to efficiently trade themselves from stopping to have that defuse. Again, deleting any chance of RRQ from taking one round in.
Operator now here in the hands
Masa iya ente,
of
coy?
Elmi Mort.
Ya,
He would value he
Jemkin
can
udah
find some
udah
cash
ngebuang
still
satchel aja tuh.
decently strong here
Udah
from both
baik,
weapons
ada.
outside of GenG.
Woi,
That's gonna be
mati lu.
seized and- Ooh,
Loh?
Elron lucky to be alive.
Oh, dia TP, Cok.
43 health remaining on him.
Cok, hoki banget.
Going out.
Nice.
Snappy with it. Takes out Munchkin as he swings the
Hmm.
corner
Oh,
straight
wow.
away. Just
Hmm.
spamming, managing to find
Ini
one.
baru
Again,
RRQ.
finds the second. And suddenly, Meteor,
Nggak dicek.
the last
Oh,
one
ngeri
left
banget.
standing. Orb going to be taken. Do they push
Hey.
up far enough to actually spot him? For now, he's just staying quiet. Smoke dissipates. Swing onto the corner.
Ah.
Find one. Would have to be an ace clutch
Oh,
though.
nice.
Sparrow won't allow for it. One member lost.
Gak apa-apa
RRQ,
ya,
they finally
gak mau
get
lah
themselves on
hilang
the board in the 5th
510
round.
poin.
This is what RRQ is just kind of hoping for. The GenG trips up their slow, methodical approach, just quickly transitioning out into rubble, getting punished by that combination that we've seen time and time again happen from defenders on Lotus. Again, utilizing the traps,
Nice, guys.
utilizing the nades to
Nice,
really put
guys.
GenG in an unfavorable, undesirable situation. And as you saw, very clean round for them to only losing one. So they keep their weapons coming into this next one, which means Elmi Moore, look at this. He's got an operator.
Yep. Still able to keep that one in his back pocket as the Haunt
Wah, itu
does
kena,
get the
weh.
reveal, and now
Wah,
Sens
gila,
actually
nggak ada
stop
yang
off the top of rubble there.
ready
Nightfall
ready
now
util
thrown out.
semua,
Victory
cok.
find one before he gets taken down by Xpero. Jump call out the side. Turning Nightfall.
Sayang banget, buset tuh tali banyak banget tuh.
Only more gaining a decent amount of space, but look at the wraparound here from Meteor, getting himself tucked just alongside that C-Link door. Probably
Kecek ya?
not doing much there, Lock.
Kecek ya sama David ya?
Yeah.
Itu.
Just kind of hoping that maybe that would have changed something
Meteor.
when the Nightfall Tracer still was available. Anyways, wall to separate. Xpero is isolated
Wah,
here, so
David
he has
kena
to
lagi
find
nih.
himself.
Oh enggak untuk sekarang.
Wow,
Wow, Bani nih bos.
Now Meteor, a bit of a rough spot, knows that he's being pinched here. As Elmimore taps the door, holding that hard angle.
Ah, nggak kena guys.
Meteor can separate this. He can find this opening kill. And
Whoa.
out wider as the door reopens. Elmimore
Nice.
gets shot on the boards. Well, RQ will get themselves a second round win.
This might be the time for for GenG to not keep pushing out of rubble. It just doesn't work. And this is the same thing that happened. Maybe they were a lot more confident because they had that Nightfall, because maybe this time they were just mentally prepared. But RRQ, they show to us why they have this locked and loaded. They just are able to execute and win that for
Anjay,
days.
panas nih.
Bit available
Kayak
here
bandut
for
kita, coy.
RRQ, but that lockdown, it's been built up for Meteor. See whether or not that's going to come into play in this round as Elmimore again, just looking to push forward, take some early space here for the team.
Oh, nice banget, guys.
Nearly got himself a collab there.
Nice banget, guys.
All jiggle pick in the corner. Elmimore comes up with the goods. Lakia
Nice
now
banget.
eliminated. He continues to re-peek, just trying to see if he can get an angle. Meteor in the meantime, pushing forward in towards B, able to catch Jemkin completely unawares.
That could call the rotation too from GenG. They have options here. They can just slow the pace down, wait for the utility. Door is always opportunity to go straight in to see what Elmimore is holding. If he misses a shot with that operator of his, he could be in trouble now that we see that Texture still has the quick transition into side with the double satchels.
I mean, look at the setup here. I mean, the rotation over. Flipshatter drops the pit onto B, stopping them from pushing there. Smoke comes down to the A. They really want to filter GenG further in towards this C side.
Okay.
Much relying on
Guys,
pressing
guys.
Elmimore to be able to get the shots and slow them down.
Nice, guys. Lagi, guys. Lagi, guys.
Munchkin looks for a little bit more.
Nice, guys.
Good for the second shot, but soon he's going to have to back away. The lockdown is enough. It has
Balik
to be
aja, guys. Nggak
respected.
apa-apa, guys.
Buys enough space here for
Kasih
GenG to
masuk
push
musuhnya,
forward.
kasih masuk.
It's damage done already
Gelo,
by Elmimore,
agak
right? It
chamber
will
nih,
secure
bos.
that site, but there's so many positions to be to deal with, excuse me. As
Sabar,
now
guys, tahan, guys.
He realizes this, so he wants to be put in a position where it's a little bit forward, it's a little bit off angle, it's very aggressive, but he does
Ambil
get a chance to
CT dia
maybe get
ketahuan
killed
ini.
early.
Oh,
Aduh.
and he is ready for the swing.
Nice.
I used to be a chamberman.
3 lawan 1 ya.
Just managed to strike him down.
Masih
but that
kalah
leaves
ya, awas aja.
the newest member in a 1v3, couple low HP.
Ya Allah.
Snapping on the first
Nice.
shot, trying to take him
Nice,
down,
Bani ke
but it's
atas.
surrounded. Flipshatter will find the kill. Xpero
Yang
will
paling
find
benar
the
ke atas.
operator, and RRQ will now get up to touching distance, 3 to 4, just 1 round separating.
And Elmimore lighting up the house with that operator of his. So this time RRQ, they're creating foundations of what is there to defend each and every side. For C, it's been Elmimore. If they can't deal with this, they have to go through the again the string of utilities that RRQ has on A.
My OP, take my OP.
Yeah, don't forget. Sniper's important for Elmimore. But yeah,
Take my OP.
they have at least defensive answers against GenG in every single side.
Iyalah, diambil lah orang HG ngekill.
Nice setup. GenG now seeing it multiple times in a row where they prepared to try to counteract it as the nade goes out. Texture and a bit of a rough spot. It's not even the nade that finds him. It's just going to be Jemkin
Tawa tuh
spraying
Jemkin
through.
tuh
It
dapat
does take
bunuh
him down.
tekstur.
Did they realize that he got hit by the C's and they just pop shots through the smoke?
Maybe just a happy little accident.
Very good, because Texture's down. This leaves GenG just stuck outside of tree. And RRQ, they've already gathered like 4 players here and now. Xpero
Cara
is just
mainnya
okay holding
persis
the
banget
angle
anjir.
at this point.
RRQ
One
kuatin A.
Xpero
Woi!
caught with that util in hand. It's gonna be no, but as he redraws, Aaron is holding out for more, able to find that kill.
RRQ kuatin A, GenG juga ngotot ambil A.
The headshot now upgrading the weapon. Grabs the Phantom off the ground. Still, though, 3v2. Power and numbers here for RRQ. But if GenG can isolate, take out Jemkin. This keeps them in with a chance, but Jemkin trying to hold the line. Readjusts the spray. Picks up 3 as RRQ tie it up 4-4.
Cause and effect here for GenG because they lost Munchkin early in that fight. Yes, they did get the takedown on Xfero. They could have transitioned in, but again, losing him that early didn't allow the toxicity to be up, so the walkway of GenG going onto Link was very much exposed as to how you saw Estrella get those 2 kills. And of course, GenG not really having too many options, wanted to go for A, and Jemkin's there just to receive very, very efficiently.
Multitude of ults, though, here for GenG. Still not a timeout inside. Both teams very much close, I should say, very much trusting in their teams to be able to make the adjustments. Turret setup eventually has to be cleared. Headhunter, Elmimore really wanting to pull off the play. Now going to be backing away as Meteor continues to creep forward.
Ditantang terus guys sama Enter, sikat guys. Sa iya guys. Lu mau di contest terus guys.
Yeah. I think it's just more of, I also like how Meteor is so aware of the angle that Elmimore will recheck, so he goes to the other side.
Ada smoker.
Strong.
Unfortunate. Just really utilizing and abusing these high pen weapons. Those paper thin walls.
Amawat gamenya anjir. Ini HG bisa dapat 1 udah oke coy. Dia udah pasti masuk pakai ulti nih resnya. Nice guys.
Again, Elmimore. Last time he was adjusting down, this time he's adjusting up.
Wait, what?
Finds a shot.
Whoa!
The rest, hello.
Wow.
Gonna need to see that one in the replay. Good God.
Butuh replay nih.
Xfero.
I actually thought that Elmimore hit the mid-air shot on Texture. That would have been sick, but
would have been absolutely disgusting had he been able to get
time out nggak sih itu GenG?
Very much. And look at that. I think it's just telegraphed too, right? They put up the toxic screen. Estrella just immediately reacts to it. And speaking of reactions, Xfero holds the angle, not allowing anyone to cross without getting punished.
Gelo RRQ lagi.
Gorgeous.
Fokus semua
hold
coy.
here for RRQ, and what looked like to have been such a strong string of rounds for GenG here has been flipped up on their sides. They cannot find a reaction here to RRQ. Again, as I mentioned, RRQ, they have all the defensive answers against the offense of GenG here.
And mind you, with this
Mereka nggak
scoreline,
mencoba
it
untuk
looks like
ngusir
it,
si
but it's been
Hagai
nothing but
dulu.
streaks on either side. 4 rounds to
GenG,
start things
kalau
off for
Hagai diusir
GenG.
baru bisa.
They got that bonus conversion. They win round 4, but
Atau
then they just start dropping them. And
RRQ kayaknya bani dah.
have been racking them up. So now up by 1, GenG. Solo wanting to pump the brakes. There's a few more seconds to try to find the adjustments necessary to get themselves back into this one.
What can that be? Oof. Hard question to answer, definitely, when again, you've got players of RRQ zeroed in. I don't think they were expecting really that Elmimore went onto this chamber. Everybody from the desk seems like they were very much aware of it. In any case, it has been paying off a lot.
Look at how tight-knit and how shared of an effort this is right now, though, from RRQ. 2 kills separating the top from the bottom.
Lihat tuh kan, nah ini baru giliran gini aja lu baru ngusir.
Actually move Flipsider.
Oh kocak lu, udah nggak ada Haga yang main no.
So now that they realize this, maybe they'll press further. Look at the positioning though from Elmimore. He opens the door, he can TP back onto Waterfall.
Showstopper
and he even finds Kara.
Hasn't spotted him, but finally does. Flipsider gonna be taken
Oh,
down.
Haga dapat anjir.
Ya. Pushing in through Waterfall.
Ya.
Here to intercept
Ya, kecolong-colong ya. Udah keren loh, Haga dapat first kill loh.
Last pack and Showstopper in to see. We'll end up winning the round. They do. They stop the RRQ win streak and they tie us back up 5-5.
It was also the round that RRQ just mixed up their setup too, right? Where we saw again Flipsider holding C. They might actually just bring back Elmimore on C because it did not work, as you mentioned. Dexter just whizzing into that C site. Everyone dropping right in front of them, and Meteor finally gets a chance to go for his lurk, and this is that one round that GenG was looking for, as you mentioned, to equalize things.
Cash aplenty here, though, for RRQ, so it's going to be tour de force into this round, and then plenty of cash for the op in the next.
Oke, agresif banget, Cok.
Just trying to
Nice banget.
check around.
Mampus lu.
Wants to take the fight, but Jemkin steps to him.
Oke, fokus guys, fokus mantek crosshair guys.
Man advantage here is RRQ.
Ayo guys, ini udah waktunya lu guys. Wah, gelo. Kena sih tapi.
Looking like he's not done yet. He still wants to take a forward aggressive position, gets himself around
Wah,
the
nice
backside
banget
rubble.
posisinya guys.
Heard
Sabar guys, picknya.
They might think he
Oh!
ain't here anymore, and now he strikes.
Ai. Estrella udah pasti bunuh ini.
Caron left standing.
Posisi Odin kayak gini nggak bunuh mah, nggak
Trying to step
jadi.
across behind rubble.
Kalau ada yang TP Krabble ya.
Trying to take any amount of space they possibly can, but this is looking like an absolutely done round here for GenG unless they can find a miracle.
Yeah, they don't want to push Estrella here. He's just holding it angle. He doesn't want to even check it. You know, they're the ones going to have to push. Now that they open the door, there still is
30 seconds left.
some form of confirmation. The RRQ.
Wah!
GenG going on A.
Ngeding tuh pala ya.
Still left standing. Knocked down to 55. Push forward.
Dua-duanya nggak sih lu?
Spike planted.
Away from that trademark now into the site. The spike planted. Certainly, even with the nightfall in their back
Odin bisa
pocket,
kayak gitu
GenG
ya.
would want to save that for the
Udah
last
kepala
round.
kagak mati jir.
TP forward, Xpero spotting him out.
Satu tri kata
Someone
dia.
over towards tree. Tap onto the door as Flip Shatter comes in from behind. So rotate over to backside here from
Digebukin, Cok.
Lakia. Trying to take a nice position.
Wah,
Jemkin hunts him down. Now they know the Caron is up
No
on heaven,
chance.
and that's going to be the kill
Kalau
coming
udah
through.
miss.
Jemkin with 3, the
Shot
juice
gitu.
comes in, and RRQ get themselves to 6.
Man, what a lapse of judgment there for GenG to think that no one was going to be holding Rubble, right? But Elmore did make a very, very good feint that he played away. Look at this, no one was even checking him. Thankfully, if Lakia just wasn't able to, or wasn't able to react in time, that would have been the 3 kills. I just, I love how Elmore is just, just chill with all the highlights as he's been doing.
Guys.
All right, well, last round of the half, GenG.
Yeah.
It's so close to 4 ultimates of Meteor.
6 sama apa? 75 nih guys.
That lockdown can come into play. Now Paranoia across the TP.
Wait, itu bawah lu.
Showstopper now out. Sens looking for the kill. They bounce away. Smattering of damage found on the Lockdown, but does manage to stay alive.
Majukan. Wow.
Jemkin continues the block forward, but now Lakia responding with 2 kills of his own.
Coy, Jemkin udah bunuh Estrella-nya turun Bimang kebanyakan tawa.
All other ults used.
Bring them down.
No one got hit by it too.
Big pump of the brakes, Elmi Moore. Wanting to go for the shot, trying to get the flick. The Boombot, he's eating the damage, but he can't find the headhunter shot. And now it's a 1v1.
Aduh, 1 lawan 1.
Sphero in texture. Spike down. Sphero watching for this one. 2 smokes yet to still utilize.
Texture is smart. He's using the time remaining to make Sphero move elsewhere. Now he's cooked a little bit. Should decide to just try to
David nggak takut dari kena.
He grabs it. He knows that it's been taken.
Ya,
but where is he
terambil.
gone? No tap on the spike quite just yet.
30 seconds
Still
left.
suspecting that he might be within the side itself.
Gila, sabar
Texture,
banget nih.
however, with time on its side,
Sabar
he might
melawan
get that
sabar,
free
coy.
moment, get himself in towards B. Looks like that's almost exactly what he's going to do.
Ya. What timing?
They're about to hit each other. Just barely at the corner, Achilleos.
Just pulling back, and now, yep, footsteps going to be heard. Little time remaining.
Timing.
Sphero still trying to play this one
anjing.
out as quiet as he possibly can. Texture with the setup.
Harusnya David tahu ya.
Get the win.
Here's the smokes.
Yep. One smoke sent. The tap, the hold, a blast pack being sent forward. He knows exactly where he's at. He actually didn't clear him off. He thinks that he cleared him off. It didn't happen.
Nice!
Xpero! The
Nice!
Chad just stays glued to
Anjir,
it.
itu Satchel boy soek ya. Terbang juga kagak tuh.
Imagine the mental exhaustion from both Xpero as well as Texture to kind of outread each other. Again, Texture was the one that had to make the noise and start going to B when that timer was going down. He went the other side. He thought Xpero might have gotten all the way around to spawn and was playing a lot safer. Xpero just chased him the same route that he did. But of course, him being the Omen, having the smoke, I was looking at the utility here for Texture. He only had that satchel.
Ntar ada
And you can't
formatnya.
blame him for thinking that it could boop him away from stopping a defuse. but I just didn't.
I think it just pushed him back against the wall. It wasn't far enough to decide to actually knock him off the spike.
Yeah.
Not enough distance, and he just stays on it.
What a lapse. And I mean, it's 5-7, but every single round has been so important for both of these
attack-nya
teams
doang nih.
that I think that was a huge win for RRQ.
It absolutely is. And here's the question. Which way does Lotus sway? We have typically in Pacific seen that this is more of a defender-sided map. That's a strong defending start there for RRQ, but not really a runaway beginning.
Salam
So
langkah
GenG can also
banget.
have that strong defending side, especially with Meteor now being able to have his full preset KJ util down on the ground. GenG certainly could try to run this back, especially if they can find themselves another pistol round win.
I was about to say that Jemkin felt sort of quiet. He stopped fragging, right? But this is his chance to show what he has got, that raw talent phase, that raw firepower. Now that RRQ is going to be the one grabbing, you know, these sites on the offense.
Made out, Elmi Moore quickly has to jump back with the rendezvous. And you can see already, Texture, I mean, just wanted to go for the combo setup, see if they can find anything.
Fokus ya, fokus
Nice
ya.
opening damage over at A, and then he's instantly rotating over towards C.
Ah, mau
Charon
di
here.
fuck kah?
Waiting on doorway
Heads
to
up kah?
throw out the util. I think RRQ realized that it might be too much of a heated push on C. And they're just coming back here, especially
A-nya
with the
nggak ada,
toxic
guys.
screen already set up. It's not a bad idea to do that. They can find Lakia and actually get the trade on him. That's going to open the C site fully and
Tim dari negara mana?
just really for RRQ. Oh, that spot's
Ya,
Oh no, it does not.
busuk tuh mata. Ini Korea sama Indo.
Side of tree there. Lakia now going to be drifting away. He might himself be thinking, okay,
Kayak dia
I don't
nggak
think they're
tahu
coming to A.
A-nya jalan.
He's taking a more defensive fallen back position, but now the util starts flying.
Oh!
Still go for a timing shot to the smoke and managing to find
Udah ban.
the push in.
Ya elah ban
The reload
takut.
will just be a snake bite to force him back.
Belajar
Find
dong
some
ban
damage.
kalau laki.
Lakia for now going to be held at bay.
What an angle
Anjir
too.
lah bisa
You see already
diterus
here the
muka
post
tuh.
plan for RRQ kind of got mixed up a little bit. Elmimore's going to be holding on drop here as he has teammates to
Aduh,
hold the
kalau lagi
crossfire,
dapet.
but the paranoia allows them to
Ya
just drop in.
dapet
Paranoia
gitu.
drop down, but Munchkin does manage to
Guys,
find
guys.
Sparrow. Elmi
Yang
Moore's
bener
classic
aja, guys.
technique, trying to get those shots across the
What?
line. Much of anything, but Jemkin comes up with two.
Ya.
Now the last man standing. And GenG
Oke
will be able to
banget.
take him down. Second pistol round goes their way. And barring a thrifty win here, it seems like
Perkara kena
GenG
ini,
are gonna be able
Cok.
to tie us
Kena
up
terus
once more.
smoke.
For sure. That
Kacau
round,
sih menurut gua sih.
I have to say,
Terus smoke hokinya
like,
itu.
very much
Babi lah.
favored
Tuh,
because of what
pas
Lakia
banget
was
lagi.
able to do. Sure, he got the one kill off of that, but that is a huge kill in this post ban when you only have the pistols. That being able to survive,
Oh,
give that information. I do not know what he said.
apa tuh artinya cuy?
But yeah.
I
Works
don't
so-
know what
works
he
in the
said.
favor of GenG just because again of the heroism
Crowdnya
of
ketawa,
Lakia.
casternya bingung.
Didn't quite catch it, fortunately. Texture now back.
We'll just laugh with them.
He's got the outlaw in hand. Defensive sightlines as well. Seems like Elmi Moore may
Guys,
be
1, 2, 3, pick guys.
learning for the first time out, but never mind.
Curang guys.
Try to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Udah nggak bisa guys, dia pakai ituan guys. Kacau itu. Coba terusan.
Very solid early kill coming through, and it feels similar to what was witnessed in the first half. Munchkin now
Bos.
spraying away, finds Sparrow, she's into the meat grind, and arrow swarms down to the ground,
Ini
smokes
tim Indonya
everywhere,
siapa aja?
Spectres in hand.
Cuma
Not much
RRQ.
to realistically be done here for the side of
Kalau player
RRQ.
Indonya banyak di tim-tim luar.
Looks like they're just going to stay tucked and wait for them to try to push up.
It's just again, RRQ also trying to sprinkle a little bit of that lurk, but it's not going to happen. Seems like they're about to just go push, end this round already. Try to get a trade if they can.
Maybe Munchkin with the bite will try to use it into the corner, but that's going to be the haunt. Jump
Ah.
in. Meteor collects
Susah.
2 kills very
Jaga
swiftly.
tiga.
A flawless anti-eco here for GenG. As they do, in fact, tie it up. So 7-7.
Aduh,
And they
7
convert
sama
another
Gimang
bonus.
nih
We'll
coy,
have to
jangan
just wait
sampai
and see,
kena
but
ini sih.
Elmi Moore just sticking around way longer than I thought he would.
There was no reason not to just try to be
Gak boleh kena apa namanya?
harder to
Bonus
read.
ini.
Play the
Susah.
off timings as well. Here it is. And now that they know that there is again that outlaw, can't really go for the half shield. So you see RRQ with the utmost full buy. Jemkin is 2 away from his ultimate. That could be something that they can use to break into the site here. But there's a 4-stack on GenG right at the other side of this toxic screen.
Oh, Locky gonna be taken out.
Nice, bang.
A good amount of damage there on the flips. Actually, 8, even more damage.
Aduh,
there.
low lagi
On
Bani.
15. Texture wanting to push up into this one. Toxic screen does fall. Flip's going to be able to just drift away, but could be 2 players hot on his heels here as the rest of the team trying to enter in towards that C site. Decay out, nanoswarm damage found. Boombot gonna go chasing forward here from Jemkin. His Meteor currently set up, waiting for that smoke to dissipate at Waterfall so he can get a shot at the
Bani
outlaw.
jagain di sini, Mar.
Flipsider's like 15 on this anti-lurk.
Wah.
So snappy.
Wait, itu Munchkin kok bisa bunuh 2, Cok?
That's gonna be Jemkin and Elmimore taken out.
Tai lah.
It's just Estrella and Xvero left standing now. In a 2v4. It seems like GenG, they might just be able to do it once more. Smoke coming down, Munchkin rips his way forward.
Bisa nggak dijaga loh, tai. Itu kenapa dia bisa swing di situ, Cok? Wah, kacau.
For him to step up here in this game, and so far he has.
Harusnya dilihatin itu. Tapi
harusnya nggak mati, Cok. Post plant, it looked like RRQ should have been able to transition into a round. Here we go.
Ya gitu ternyata.
The smoke dropping and no one from RRQ actually noticing it. What a punish from Munchkin.
Seemed like maybe just too reliant on
Kena bonus
that
manja.
was sent out by Jemkin to try to check that spot. Nothing noted, so
yeah.
Time out langsung,
slip
bro.
their minds, and that is going to be another timeout called. As RRQ now, GenG walk, wanting to slow things down and get the team back into the right mindset.
This is what RRQ definitely needs. It's not, I think, the change of strategy. It's more of just being able to remember to not forget about the attacking side beats, right? Once you know, and again, the changes to the smoke, you see it fizzling, you know it's about to drop, somebody has to check it. You can't really have these lapses up against a team like GenG that will not miss a chance to punish you for it. And again, go back to that, Munchkin with the 4K really is a big punish against RRQ.
2GE.
Solo looking very animated here as we get ready to go back into this one. I mean, a reminder, this is RRQ's map pick.
Pusing nih RRQ nih.
Something that
Apa Ewoknya nih?
the org became a hell of a lot cleaner on. We came down to Lotus last season.
Masalah di attacker lagi makanya. Stellar out push in. Wah, itu GG coy. Tapi jangan dong, player gua masa tidak.
I will have to double check that.
Juga mulai tanding player gua. Push ini dah coy.
Elmimore just going to be relying on those 4 headhunter bullets that he has. No armor in sight. Maybe trying to bank up as much as possible to try to get an attack operator into his hands.
I love this triple stack from GenG.
Ayo Bani nge-walk
If RRQ pushes for B, they're going to be able to exit out and again have the numbers to kind of fight with it, right? Flipsider somehow manages to pick off a bit of the utility.
Galau meteor galau.
Realizes that it could or should be able or should be there on the side itself.
Guys.
Check tree, but they are planning it on the other side.
Wait, tree-nya woi.
They don't even know.
They are not, but somehow Meteor actually only going to be able to
cuek
away
cuek
with one.
baik.
Puts a lot of damage down onto Elmimore, who's going to be finished off
Gila
by
itu
Texture.
kalau mati banyak sih
Players left
tai
standing.
loh.
Jemkin, however, though, with a showstopper, that could be
Suara in-game nggak bisa
a major
dikencengin,
linchpin in being able to
ketutupan
convert
sama
this
suara
round into a win.
caster.
Eggshells
Gimana
forward,
cara
clear up
gedein
three.
suara in-game?
Nade at the ready, send them off to defuse for now, buying more time. Snake bite
There
in
it
the
is.
corner,
Up!
showstopper comes down, managing to find
Jemkin.
one, taken out. However, now they're onto the spike and they're looking to hold
Wah,
this
nice
one
molly.
down. Picture finds flips.
Oh,
Strayer gonna be
snake
taken out.
bite.
The fight goes forward, it's held to
Wah,
half
gila.
though.
You have got to
Locky
be
getting
kidding
back through, just gonna be able to hold this defuse,
Wah,
and it's close,
dapet.
but not enough. GenG, they will be able to win the round.
Gedein banget.
Man, imagine if
Coy,
that showstopper was
kan jelas-jelas Bani udah nembakin alarm bot.
placed
Udah nembakin turret. Walaupun lu mikirnya Killjoy-nya main retake, Gak ada salahnya ngecek itu tree. Babi itu namanya. Jangan dicuekin aja coy, kan kita nggak tahu tuh, kecuali lu udah mata tree atau prowler kadang kedetek, cuek nggak apa-apa. Jadi kena satu tuh, padahal kalau di clearin enak tuh.
Pay them well.
It's very slow, very quiet here so far.
Kalau gak jadi attacker ganti tim aja tadi gue main.
Opposite side of the map is Texture in a
Lu
very
nggak tahu
forward
kalau alter
position.
ego ya, jadi attacker langsung ada lagunya coy. Tabrak-tabrak masuk. Ada reversi pasti masuk gitu coy. Up! Allahu Akbar! Guys, kok kalah guys? Anjir.
So quick.
Holding the line.
Anjir udah nahan cok.
Way faster than Elmimore.
Hah?
Showstopper still held on to as well.
Yeah, the question right now for RRQ is, are they going to start pushing onto C now that they know the Texture is on the other side of the map?
Wait, nah itu loh maksudnya reflect. Bantuin Bani, sibuk. Sibuk di B Bani. Aduh. Nobar harus jangan lupa minum ya cuy ya.
They were gathering mustering their courage, I guess you could say, and then just YOLOing onto that C side from the looks of things. They knew that the utility from Meteor was there, but they had to try to do something unless they want to map control. Unfortunately, look at this hold from Meteor.
Ngelihat apa ya? Sumpah.
The second nanoswarm doesn't really
Kenapa nggak lihat backside ya?
but it stops RRQ from pushing all the way onto Ben, allowing me
Alah
to take a breath
sia
and
boy,
just
masa
pushing
iya,
out, getting
masa
that 3K for a
iya.
nice photo finish.
Prowler check outside of B. Locked noting at least one. RQ, I mean, they need something, and they need it damn soon. Caron, however, not looking to give it to him here.
Allah, udah jebol lagi aja tadi buka pintu.
Buset
dah.
Bang through, eliminated. Paranoia just find him.
Nice
Spray
speed.
coming through. Lockheed trying to get a kill on X-Sparrow. Just barely managed to persevere.
Ayo pit.
Put some damage down. That's about as good as it's going to get.
Mendapit with trust ya.
Just the one kill here. X-Sparrow, spike in hand, drifting around the backside here. Through that defender's spawn. Maybe, at the very least, to just see if he can try to get a plant.
If any of that turret is active from Meteor. Oh no, it's not. So might be able to go through.
Aduh, kena alarm bot dong.
Is gonna spot him though as he comes closer, especially now that he doesn't have any utility except for maybe just the one dark cover. Tries to backpedal onto top B here.
Apakah RRQ CU?
Hobi
dengan 7.
3 kills in the round.
CU. Coy, masa iya coy?
6 consecutive now.
Gak berubah tuh. Lu lihat tuh. Defense.
Tabrak-tabrak masuk, adu gagasan tetap masuk. Meski jauh jarak pandang, coba sedikit melang. Backboard mata paling.
Itu lagu reversi kan? Tabrak-tabrak masuk.
For a couple of kills there from Texture.
Open the door, RQ on the floor.
Busuk.
There's no answer for RRQ now. They've been trying a lot of things.
Attackernya itu loh. Bos soek.
Much afraid of Texture.
That would have been a pretty insane shot.
Yeah.
But you managed to make it across the rubble.
Bani takut dah sama meteor kah?
Only more force off the angle for now.
Adiknya.
Prowler chasing up. They work their way now
Gila,
towards
push
straight
dia sih.
Nanoswarm, however, there to slow them down.
Gila. 5-man 3 anjay.
The ultimates available here towards GenG.
Itu prowler mau seruduk tembok.
Everything here should just about guarantee they get themselves up to that map point. And call around the
Wah,
back.
kena tuh.
Wah, ayo. Aduh. Can't find the shot. Takes the TP out to safety now. In the meantime,
Estrella di gangbang. Estrella, ada Hagai. Ada Hagai. Turunin nggak sih? Minta Bani. Aduh. Kaos. Isis kaos. Itu kenapa nggak minta turunin Bani? Turunin itu udah pasti Azai bunuh, Cok. Itu nungguin wallnya lama. Bani harus turunin, Cok. Harus minta koms aja. Jadi gak sih, gue sebagai netizen aja. Seru gak sih? Sebagai netizen.
Look at this.
I'm okay. I'm fine. Kincana. Ting neng neng neng. Ku menahan rasa sakit. Rasa sakit. Angin tuh.
Ada suara Mas Dean lagi. Kencana yo.
And there's just again no answer for RRQ, no rebuttal at all from this team.
Kencana.
Really slipping away from the here now.
Why ya like that?
Tie this up, take it into OT.
Estrella, Bang Re, lu jangan player gua juga, lu suruh masuk.
It was close.
Dia juga belum main. Nah dong.
GenG 13-11 into a 13-8 on Sunset. But right now, it's just
yang lain.
Panicking.
Yang lain.
Mid-rounds.
And these are again obviously to us different maps from
Yang
that
player
last
gue dulu
series.
di Sidak ya.
This is already a done deal for GenG and we go to Breeze. We've seen how
Ogah jauh anjir. Ogah. Trade Kus dengan Estrella. Itu kalau kata siapa?
As you have been mentioning is right.
Si semprot. Rugi dong. Gaji lu dinaikin tapi nggak mau gua.
More though does have his third to force on C-Long, but Texture's always just been one step ahead.
A pixel out of place, Texture. Takes him down again. That showstopper still in his back pocket. The pin as well, not needing to be invested by much. Get the last round, Lakia.
Wow.
What the fuck, man? Cok itu sendiri loh. Aduh, Estrella, ST manis kah? Wop. Ente guys. Masih ada map 2-3, kita harus optimis ya guys.
GenG take RRQ's map away from them.
That just hurts. Man, they were already pushing for a site. Lakia comes out for a beautiful punish, for a beautiful counter of
I'm okay. I'm fine. Kincana. Ting neng neng neng.
It was a back and forth in that first half, but this
Ku menahan rasa.
Kenapa? Aduh. Kencana yo.
Everybody doing so much to make that happen.
Manis cuy.
They gotta have to dig deep because this elimination match looks like it's heavily favoring GenG. Oh boy.
Waduh. Ewok udah ngobrol sama Jemkin tuh.
Good for them, but like as I said, I had concerns. Is this just going to continue to be a defender-sided map? Seems like so far it is, but that's enough for us for now. We'll go ahead and run back to the analysts as to break down the action from game 1.
Kencana
Is
yo.
history going to repeat itself? It's looking like it
cairkan dulu coy, cairkan dulu.
Seal out another map. What can RRQ
Pick winner.
do to
Wah.
Clack is broken.
GenG coy.
They're there, my friend.
Kacau
They're
nih,
there.
kacau keterusan nih, kacau.
RRQ though, they had good momentum initially.
They did.
Padahal game per half-nya GG loh. Abis itu 7 cok. Coy, 75 loh per half-nya. Masa 7? Naik. Kencana yo. RRQ AFK ya dia attack nggak dapat poin kia. Tahu coy. Sumpah main pelan, sangat pelan mainnya. GG-nya juga bisa ngebaca. Tuh kata hostnya tuh. Great start tuh. Estrella senyum-senyum sih tadi mainnya. Ketawa. Ketawa tuh nggak apa-apa, fokus. Apakah kita mendapat Lord baru cuy? Lord AJ nggak ada, diganti dengan Lord ini.
mean, yeah, look at the post.
Kacau nggak mau gua nggak mau nggak suka. Gua jadi Mr. Subaton aja coy kalau tukar dengan dia mau gua jadi Mr. Subaton aja jir. Mana bisa cus gua tertambah itu namanya Rudy Gong tular AJ nggak di ini sih bukan duelisnya bukan jemkin kan duelisnya oke si jemkin diajarin bahasa Korea nggak apa-apa gua
players like Lakia starting to step up. Remember there was like a round where I was like, final round. And
udah skip dulu dah kalau tukar tambahnya itu. Guencana yo. Basoek. Aduh dari Rudy Gong ini mah coy. Aduh, HG udah GG startnya. Bani udah GG startnya. Semuanya udah GG. Apa ya? Banget. Stasi bodong ini mah. Kalau dibilang chance RRQ menang, mau dibilang chance-nya 30%, 40% setiap chance itu berarti ada kemungkinan. Permasalahan sekarang tuh harus fokus nih. Chance itu bakal selalu ada, Bang. Jadi ini baru game 1. Game 1 belum tentu pasti kalah, enggak. Cuma kayak harus main 2 map lagi tuh. Yang harusnya kalau misalnya bisa 2-0 cuma 2 game, harus mainin 3 map. Harus fokus tuh. Lihat tuh. Mungkin udah gimang ya gitu ya. Sebenarnya nggak panas malah meternya. Enggak cuy, kayak ada angle-angle yang nggak kecek gitu loh. Bisa ada iklan segala anjay. Pasti ada. Gong lu kentut gong, kasih tahu Val. Ini ada Valdi nih, Val. Kalau tuker tambah Estrella sama Kus lu mau? Kata Valdi ditinju anjing tuh Estrella, Bang. Maulah gaji kacau, nggak mau gua, nggak apa-apa gaji gua seperti sekarang gua, yang penting ada Kus, jangan beliau. Emang lu mau Val? Raja ayo sama RRQ kerja sama antar.
Yeah, the majority of the fragging was on Texture and Meteor, but they were still working together as a unit. It was still a lot of selfless play. It was still Lakia setting up his teammates, and now when Lakia is called upon to have some big moments, when Munchkin's been called upon,
itu namanya rugi dong.
For these other teams, because top to bottom again, this firepower for GenG is through.
Tambah BPJS kesehatan. Itu Kairi bener. Harusnya Ler aja yang mainnya cuy. Siapa setuju Ler aja yang ikut apa franchise cuy? Ler aja GG dah. 2 job gitu. Ler. Pelia. Ya. Ler GG loh.
Especially on a map like Breeze, I think. But at the very least for now, I mean, just enjoy the highlights, because what a show GenG put up.
Right, and you know, of course, GenG, I cannot wait to see them on Breeze. It's a map that demands such confidence, the same kind of confidence that we saw from them, and you know, so many times, especially for Texture. So I cannot wait to see them. But again, big question mark on the side of RRQ, because I personally, I don't feel like, you know, they could be prepared for what GenG has to offer on Breeze, which demands such individual top-tier performance.
No, I'm with you. I'm very concerned. I mean, I thought Elmi more on the chamber would be something that could give some energy, bring a you know, some fresh air.
Aduh, ini nih.
Play style, and it did look decent on defense. You could see that GenG was afraid to put pressure on that C site in particular. And Asarai pointed out during the cast that, you know, the one time GenG had success was when they shifted the chamber instead of onto C. So, you know,
all megang util.
But then on the attacker side, you don't have that impact. You don't have those first kills that you need. You're not able to whether it be texture or
kesangar aja pakai tato.
when you have those opportunities as a chamber to
Terus dong BBFS tapi mainnya keren, jago, berani kusin kak.
Very concerning here for RRQ.
Yeah, and Quack, and now we're heading into Breeze.
Jangan, kan belum main.
We don't need to look any further. We don't need to wait anymore because we have
waktunya Breeze. Bani. Yoru. Telur. Kita kasih coy, telur coy.
Double duelist and it's Jemkin.
Wow, telur.
Starting to see a trend of the Yoru being picked up more, right? But then again,
Age of Yoru, man.
Very curious as to how this would work, especially when
Tarayakan coy. Asa iya Bani pakai Yoru, kita rayakan Bani mengkeri-keri katanya.
Minggu ku makan telur ceplok,
dan pakai Yoru,
pakai sambal dan juga alpukat,
pakai sambal alpukat.
Selalu makan telur.
Bani main di Breeze pakai Yoru. Telur tiap kita harus support Bani pakai Yoru ya.
Makan telur.
Bani si telur. Waduh, bagus banget Ton. Bang Re.
What we've seen so far in the tournament here, it has been that the double duelist comps when it comes down to Breeze have been the ones finding the most success. We'll see if that trend continues now going to the map too.
Kenapa jadi salah pick?
You just have so much
Bani Yoru loh.
Offensive posture. Whether whichever side you're on, and a lot more mobility, which is so important when you're thinking about how much power, how much impact mid control really does bring.
Split A.
Looks like they're just
RRQ split A, lu lihat tuh, geradak geruduk tuh. Bokong weh. Keren anjir. Bokong. Ada trap. Mereka tahu nggak sih pasti ada trap? Hancurin. Coy. Wah, dipu. Bantuin.
Now it's still just going to be this
Bani bersama Doi.
Up into the site through main. Flash goes for GenG. All of that left side flank. He'll gun down to Locky. Now going to be the last.
Itu loh maksudnya. Anjir dong. Hampir deg-degan manja gitu di pojokan coy. Kena setunet.
From RRQ here, just to again run rampant on that A site. I didn't like the call here from GenG to go for that massive flank, but once RRQ
Bani kira dia easy.
no
Bani
one's
lebih
here on the site.
better
Just check
lah.
real quick on mid as well as A main, just in case, and the timing was slightly faster.
Botan nih bos, 38 kill Breeze, benar. Itu loh.
Deal with everyone prepared to fight.
Kedua di pojokan ngapain tuh? Makan telur sih.
All done deal
Di
for that.
makan telur, minumnya es trelah manis.
Flash and recon dart on A main again.
Mereka lupa mana.
Bit slower on the take as Flips is the one with the spike. Looks like he was going to be inching forward there into halls for a brief little moment.
Like yang dulu nggak sih coy?
But I mean, also worth noting, the Astra, not something that we have really been seeing on this map so far. It's either been the Viper kind of by itself
ada,
or
tapi
Viper
umur nggak
Harbor.
mendukung. Nah itu loh maksudnya.
Actually about to point out too, it's only been Charon that has used it in their last game with Team Secret on Breeze. So it's only GenG that's actually used the Astra. And I do like it. You know, you have so much utility to use with the stars because you have your primary control, which is the Viper.
Ya,
should be able to
itu lucu sih, sumpah lucu sih.
Rather than the smokes, they do get the flank on.
Orang A-nya dapat A, tiba-tiba orang B-nya mundur. Lah kocak lu. Ini mah udah harusnya RRQ menang gini mah. Lihat cara mereka main begitu.
Low HP on Xfero.
Spike planted.
Either of these guns will be able to take him down, but Texture now going to be noted wrapping around through elbow.
Bener.
What's the call going to be? Could just
Ya,
sit
ada
back,
trap
kinda wait for
lagi.
that spike to
Mager
detonate, sacrifice themselves to it. But I think Texture, given that he has this sheriff in hand, he's going to be looking for blood.
Coba nggak usah di dulu ya. Kenapa?
Different quandary. Jemkin does get tagged. He'll drop down off the half wall.
Gak mungkin kalah lah RRQ nih.
Interestingly enough, Caron's just
tekstur
holding on
doang.
because Texture is making all that noise. He's waiting for someone to wrap around as some form of trap, but
kabur, save senjata.
looks like RRQ's
Save.
gonna exit out an arch.
Lari,
and that's
lari,
gonna be that.
lari.
2 swift rounds from RRQ, but we've seen this time and time again. Has to be that second half that we have to look for.
Ya
both
pokoknya
teams, especially for
attacknya
RRQ.
harus fokus aja mereka.
All right, well, fairly clean there. RQ moving forward, they hold on to a line share of the weaponry here for themselves. And a final pick on the Texture, really enabling them to safely get out of the site. Because prior to that, they didn't know where Caron was going to be.
Hagai udah ketahuan nih waktunya Hagai membantai, coy.
As soon as they get rid of that jet,
Hagai mode
everybody else
Onyx.
able to get out scot-free.
Now, with both of the teams having somewhat, stronger weapons, are we gonna see Flipsider's Yoru pick really come into full swing? Oh, just okay. Secure all the trips, or excuse me, the ult charges.
Ya, diambil lagi dong. Trapnya babi juga mau hancurin trap tapi. Ambil lagi.
Won't be able to really couple it in with the Hunter's Fury. Double shots coming
What
in.
the
Oh, his
fuck,
head right
Jemkin.
outside of the poison orb. Caron able to take it off. Jemkin taken down. Flips still here.
Flashman.
Flash to the wall.
Ya.
Guardians just not even stable.
Mekanik oke.
Fast enough.
Combo dengan Recon. Flash nembaknya boy soek.
Will be able to find Lakia over at stairs.
Still isn't the worst route for RRQ. They can't come back into, or they can't just find a bit of that rotation, as they do still have all of their players except for the duelists. Look at the lurk coming in from Estrella here. Left to make something happen on Halls while they hit that B site. It might be a good idea because if you look at the traps,
ini kalau ready B,
it's not actually at the
dia mau ganggu A ya, si Estrella ya.
Is if they
Sabar, sabar.
side, but it seems
Apa
like
Estrella mau cut rotasi?
might not be able to capitalize with this, but he is running back to
Wah, ada
maybe
pull
make something
segala
happen with
dah
it.
anjing. Awas trap, awas trap.
Estrella!
Estrella! It's time to shine, man! Man!
There's the backstab. Estrella trying to play this one out quietly, but Texture. Oh, he's so wise to it. Managing to find the kill. Spike planted, but Xfair out now all on his lonesome. Texture pushing forward, swings in, and somehow, some way, has been 35 HP since 30 seconds into the round, and he'll be the one to defuse the spike.
Yeah, just give him the reward already. That's going to be the jet blades available for Texture here. You're absolutely right. Dude isn't supposed to survive, but somehow he is defying death every single time. Are we going to see it here on this replay? No, not yet. But this one's huge. Caron able to find the pick onto Jemkin, who I'm pretty sure wasn't able to spot Caron in time as well. Awesome big laps on RRQ side. Yeah.
I mean, still, odds were still.
Estrella ganti Adel. Nah, itu loh.
But it at least would have been some extra damage dealt in the bonus.
Trigger disiplinnya oke sih.
Because of the diffuse, the blades are available, so Texture still very much deadly.
Ulti ban, oke ban. Ada trap kasih. Tahu nggak sih? Nah, ada jet, ada jet. Ada jet. Ini di dalam kit. Nah, itu ban, ada ban. Nah, itu ban. Ban. Nice.
Meteor able to take one down before falling, but now Flipsider continues to open things up. Man advantage here for the side of RRQ as the spike gets planted.
Ulti. Dapat ulti oke, harusnya ini roundnya RRQ. ST manis jauh bener tuh di situ coy. Ada ulti dia ya? Gak ada ulti. Line up kah? Buset, di T-base kah itu? Ayo, harusnya salah. Oh, dia jaga elbow, boleh. Saving, musuhnya saving.
That's the value of the dimensional drift for you. right? You're able to spot out all of the traps here
Nice!
of that Cypher, which is the most important thing, obviously, when you're pushing into a site that he owns.
Ingin nyebat manja kan?
And again, I love how he immediately just came out of the dimensional drift because they had it pinched in, because they had
Estrella lama-lama kalau di kamera mukanya kayak situ nggak sih? Cogil. Ya bukan sih deh.
That post plan. It did use a lot of the ultimates here from RRQ. They had to also use the Viper Pit, but I mean,
This goes here.
2-round advantage. They'll take it against GenG.
Typically, whenever we do see the investment of the Oriole, it's going to be alongside something else. It's kind of the expectation that you're going to have that double investment. The pit does feel maybe a bit worse to use.
Split us, let's go.
Hunter's Furious.
Oh,
boy, the
hampir
spray
aja.
into the orb there. Good damage down on the Gemkin.
Aduh.
Elmore is actually going to be the first one to fall. Taken out, Xpera, however, finding Munchkin, getting that trade back, getting some revenge here for his
Nice!
Locky and Charon both going to be taken down. That forward position inside of A main completely broken down here.
Mantap, mantap.
Getting Texture up on bridge. Leaves just Meteor here to his
Cakep nih
own devices.
momen di RRQ nih cuy.
So Meteor, all right, forced to save once again. I mean, he has a neural theft. He can fight for something, but I mean, GenG, very economical. You know, they're gonna have a hard time buying into that next round without Meteor saving this and then being able to purchase him another weapon. But now that they spot where the camera is, might have an idea that he is hunkered somewhere down here on B. As you can't see the players of RRQ on the minimap slowly creeping up. A little bit too slow though, but they do have the time to hunt someone down, which they are looking to do so.
We'll just go ahead, wait for that spike to detonate, and see if anybody can come across this Cypher. A little bit of noise, but I don't think that it would have been noticed. Drops down as the recon dart comes through. They go pushing in towards him. Like he'll be able to tuck away long enough to stay alive. So Meteor retains his weapon. That is going
time
to be
out
breaks
dah.
here for the side of GenG.
GenG udah time out dia.
Haven't really seen Texture really get that value here.
Time to shine.
Again, we're seeing, again, as you mentioned, right, the two duelists, the quick ability to pressure from two angles because of the speed that the duelists do give. And GenG is just not able to either reposition or hold the quick offense that is already brought up to their plate to try to deal with. So, that being said,
sudah ada kecerahan dari
address that if they can. Texture's been, again, as I mentioned, just dealt with so quickly here by RRQ.
Ada senyuman-senyuman banja.
Or from Flipside has been pretty effective when he works with the team.
So far, looking good for RRQ, but you know, Breeze, this is one of the ones, especially when you're running that double duelist, where we kind of anticipate to see a lot more dominance on the attacker's side. For Solo, trying to get as many rounds as humanly possible as they can before they swap over to that attack side themselves.
Yeah.
It's going to be very imperative.
Yeah. They're not able to use Charon's Astra too. I think that's what GenG is, or excuse me, what RRQ is also banking on, right? They already know that there are some trap setups with the Cypher combination in combination with that Astra, but if they can do it fast enough, right? Oh, I like this. An anti-updraft tripwire, expecting maybe the quick B main push again here from RRQ.
They already go to map 3, yoi.
Oh. It's a mid push though. Are they gonna try to go once again through double door?
Revealing area.
Swinging forward, seeing if they can catch out anybody out here into the open. It's Texture and Charon for now, just lingering around A main. Swing onto the corner. Texture playing off the back of Charon. Shot finds the kill. Estrella going to be taken down. That's a huge amount of their info gain, as well as some post-plant setup taken away from the side of RRQ.
Portal closed.
Question is, can they continue push the issue here and have this spiral out of control for RRQ? The answer is going to be yes. Texture able to get
David.
catching him outside of the cyber cage, swing onto the corner.
Hey, gebukin bareng gak sih?
Shot there into the chest of Gemkin.
Oh, nice ban.
Answer back, Locky now going to be taking down the flash, sent forward, gets the catch, but Munchkin gets the headshot.
Ente ban.
Expect that one more kill. Wow. There you have it. Actually put this into a winnable position. 40 HP remaining here for Gemkin, and he's got no idea where Meteor's at.
Tulan satu Gemkin.
Used. He'll collect it. But Meteor could be coming from any which way. All they know was that he was situated on B site. Swinging her out the backside of the pyramid. He's about to have him, and he does. GenG.
Why?
come up with the round win after
Aduh,
the timeout.
kenapa
They got
begitu,
themselves a second on
coy?
the board.
Ban, chill. Tarik napas dulu. Lu harus relax, Ban. Posisi kayak gitu. Relax, manja. Tarik napas, terus lu buang pelan-pelan.
Look at this. Flipsider's POV, he committed to this spray by also crouching. Bro was asking out
Untuk
in the
membunuh
open to be
jemkin
shot
manja
down
kayak
by
itu, bre.
Munchkin. And that happened multiple times with the players of RRQ here on that thrifty round, which again, GenG generously took for themselves.
Flash in, trying to force it back. Hunter's Fury now coming through, just trying to really flush out
Hey.
Meteor, but he is just staying effectively glued.
Nice, Ban.
To the backside, however, does manage to
What?
find Munchkin arriving through tunnel. Meteor now catching Jemkin on the entry.
What?
Down that Nero
Nice,
gets
bunuh.
Surreal out, but
Tapi ke bawah 2 sih, boy swag ya. 3 lawan 3.
3v3, the Seekers let
Anjir,
loose.
dia
Lock
jaga
in.
set sendiri bisa bunuh
Making his
2
way
loh.
up from the cannons. Pushing alongside this one. Estrella now needs to try to hold the line. Seekers get cleared. Looks like they miss each other.
Wah, ada bokong lagi ya.
Zlaka gets himself in the window.
Timing.
Texture situated here. The arches find
Astaga.
Telmore.
Agak kecolong. Estrella, lihat Estrella. Di elbow. Plan mana itu? Emang bisa ngeliat?
TP bait. Try to draw some attention, but Texture not really falling for it. Flipshider just eating this util.
Nice,
Staying
Estrella.
still, but Estrella puts that operator down on the
Sabar,
floor.
sabar, chill.
Tap onto the spot.
Nice.
Flip. There's the clear out. Flip trying to get the angle. Wants to make sure.
Ah, itu loh.
Find the headshot and
Gelo. Yoru ini, bos.
I love that approach from RRQ.
Yolu, flip
They know
jedel.
that again, Meteor is going to be tucked somewhere on the site, so it's more of the duelists just doing their job right. They're brushing every single corner of it. You see Flipsider able to bypass Meteor, get that backside control, and Meteor just cannot relay the information to his team. He gets a couple of the picks, sure, but because of that quick trade, because of how
ketawa.
he secure that backside with the help of
Ketawa
Flipsider,
si
it
Chogil.
just does not matter. RRQ
Chogil Korea.
realizes and have been pressing Meteor on that B site very frequently.
Really good movement from Estrella as well in that last round, rotating out from elbow, not wanting to try to challenge over towards window, get the punish there on the lock. It just goes for the flank out in front of Texture, however, now it's started up. Does make his way out to safety. Mild amount of damage taken from him.
Gelo. Apa namanya?
It's Munchkin.
Delaynya sih.
Looking to
Guy.
hold the door.
Nice, guy.
More.
Gitu loh,
We'll just
guy.
go ahead and lock on. Locky in the meantime.
Oke, bisa dapat.
Finding Sparrows. It's going to be both Vipers eliminated from the equation here as Flipsider really wants to try to break open this corner, but it's actually going to be a combined effort as
Ya,
Australian
si
Melbourne
Karen
will
bisa
get
bunuh
involved.
nggak tuh?
Again, finding one, swing onto the corner.
mampus
Oh,
gede.
yep, that's going to be a dink right through the corner there. Bill found, swings out into the chest shot. Jemkin takes him down.
Ayo, Ban, sikat, Ban.
Meteor on his lonesome to see if there can
Ban,
be any
hajar, Ban.
additional damage done
Seret
here to
doang
the
dia, Ban.
economy. Taking it slowly, but as he's jumping up over top of the box, I mean, this is just an impossible stack to try and clear.
Anjir banget lah. Dia jigil-jigil gitu, coy.
Push on the corner. Shots just not quite connecting. Gets Estrella in the leg, but
Ngeselin sih
now
dia
down to 39
kecil-kecil.
HP. It just seems like it's an inevitability here. Meteor just wants to try to keep them involved around the
Oh.
side as much as possible, but eventually
Funny.
he will die.
It's a slow death, right, for Meteor there. They weren't going to chase him anymore. I think RRQ
Ini loh dia.
finally got the lesson. Don't chase any player of GenG. I know you wanna show how much macho you are, how much dominance you can bring, but this is GenG. Something can always be turned on you when it's them. I have to say though, you mentioned how Estrella's been good at those rotations. RRQ, when they go for these side pushes as well, he always finds the timing on that recon artifice to get at least one pulse in.
Buset.
And that's good enough.
Oh, mampus lu lagi ya.
Lakia taken down right there in the front lines. Everybody else now needing to pull away. Good punish there from Jemkin, and not much damage found as well. Flipsider, 78 now puts on the mask. Into the dimensional dribble
Oh,
push out.
mampus.
Jemkin is ready for it. Things now can come down. Several knives being expended there from Texture, and that leaves him with nothing but a classic to pop out. Texture will be able to find Flipsider actually. Knocked down low. Ends up getting finished off.
Ani.
Hey, deja vu. Might not
Megang
be a sheriff
apa,
this
boy,
time, but
Swagger.
same position.
Nice.
Meteor this time killed
Apa,
off.
Ban, yang apa,
Considerably
Ban?
faster by RRQ as they will
Mati sama
continue
klasik,
on
Ban.
their merry way.
Udah,
Now
Pak.
7 rounds to 2.
Udah pegang shotgun ban, Ban?
Yeah, same thing, right? It's the ability of Estrella to scout cleanly here for RRQ. Really that information, whether it's verbal or, again, just being able to tag someone. And then immediately as that happens, you see Jemkin, you see Flipsider, go, go, go. Just charge in, get that contact, get that trade, and RRQ does not let up.
That goes there.
This is a great rally back to see from RRQ. They look to make this into a 3-mapper.
Revealing area.
Anti buta siap.
My ult is
Okay.
ready.
Takes up the orb and everything.
Fury back online. Elmi more if they can find that opening kill. Try to set things up with the narrow depth, and there it is.
Tusukan lu.
Try to spamming away, catching Munchkin now. Identified.
Wait!
Backside. The Guardian does come up with one, so Flipside are going to be taken down. Jemkin whittled low. Either of these sheriffs in the hands here of GenG would be able to find the kill.
Timing.
Jumping up on top of the
Cek nggak
wall.
sih harusnya?
Does he look down? Texture right here in front of him. He eventually finds it. Neural depth still going to be invested. They know that there's only a couple rounds left, and they want to secure this as the 8th.
Cage triggered.
These guys are gonna push that. I love the pinch coming in from this one, and they didn't lose any control on A. They just had that great lure coming in from
Bagus nih
Elmore,
udah
so
menang
might as well just keep
kakak
the
terus ya
press
udah.
on A, right? And now look at this. He's gonna have that flank in supposedly mid-good timing, while the rest of RRQ just wait for that contact.
Hagai,
He's already on the side.
Hagai bunuh.
Silence on both.
Nice.
It's gonna be, yes, he does.
Wah, mantap.
Xfero will find the last one. RRQ, I mean, now building up a 4-round win streak for themselves, 8-2, complete utter dominance. GenG, we're talking about, how many rounds they need to try to get here on this defender's side before that flip comes in. Right now, they haven't been able to find any more.
And a stylistic difference of GenG facing against Team Secret that was very slow, very timid, to an RRQ that is aggression personified here on Breeze. And it's working out so well for them.
Time out lagi
Again,
kah?
there's gonna be the timeout call here.
Gelo, time out
Once
2
again by
kali
GenG.
coy.
They've used basically everything that they've had on this, not basically, but they've used every, again, timeout that they've had on this first half just to try
ngambil
to
4
deal
ya.
with this
Kita
stellar
tengok lagi.
RRQ offense. And it hasn't really worked out. You're seeing GenG slowly start to slow down a little bit here in terms of those falling back into sites. Munchkin, as you saw, RRQ pushing out. He threw out his wall sure for safety, but then RRQ's like, he's still there, just shoot it through the smoke. Works out, opens up the site, and then it has happened multiple times. Question here for GenG is, now that they actually bought the operator on texture, he did. How proactive is he going to be with this, or how successful will he be with this when there's just so many factors to try to deal with the flashes, with the smokes and everything?
Well, speaking of operators, Straya has one as well.
OPS
It ended up being a swap off
Oh, iya
into
dong.
a post plant, hand that over to Jemkin, but
Sama
Straya
kayak
himself,
AWP.
in his past, especially as a player in ranked, going to be very well versed with this operator. Cam for now, Meteor just watching. Probably not fully believing, but now it's that gate crash, spam into the corner, and it does take a little bit of damage.
Aduh, licik banget anjing. Pinter banget, cok. Meteor, cok. Najis. Player Indo banyak yang jago, tapi yang dapat partner, ya Allah, ST manis. Yang partner tim organisasi Indo cuma satu, RRQ doang.
Jemkin gone. It seems like the second timeout burn here in the first half is going to result in his win streak broken here.
That's what they were just looking for, right? The traps in the back of the site, especially when Flipside goes in with that gate of his.
Anjing juga Hagai.
Had spotted him, but he gives away his
Nice
position.
guy.
Elmore swinging
Wow!
at 21, turns back, and he was ready for Karen. That 50-50 that was trying to be set up, not going to be finding much. Texture right over his head. Trying to identify where the plan was at. Second too late, can't find it. Sphero on his lonesome inside the pit. The bites are available. He doesn't want to try to give himself up. Flash comes in, full blind connecting. Nobody on GenG making a peep.
Ada Molly.
Push forward.
Nice bit.
The headshot coming
Nice
down.
bit,
The
nice
first
bit.
bite going to be let loose. Texture pushing
Nice
forward. Does he have
bit,
anything else
nice bit.
other than just this operator? Or is he going to try to just barrel stuff him? Second bite let loose. He knows where he's at. The pit now being dropped at the time. dwindling.
Goblok lu Texture.
Swing onto the corner. Texture gets the shot, but I don't think he has the time.
Pada waktu kan lu lama banget.
He's realized it.
Speed.
Sprint away.
Dapit coy.
What looked like GenG.
Gila. Dapit.
They should have been able to win.
38
It is
kill.
taken away from them by
Libris nih,
Xfero.
bos.
Excuse me first before I go into
Tapi
this
dapit nih, bos.
Texture.
Tapi dia bisa gitu ya.
What?
Tengah flick gitu ya,
I want
Bang.
to see him
Yo.
versus Xcurit. Please, in terms of just being amazing op players, right?
Nggak boleh gitu dong. Kalau pengen GenG, kalau pengen lihat tekstur,
But look at just how well Xfero was able to
tekstur lawan
create that
Xcurit
tempo for
AWP
himself. He knew that
lu,
his opponents were just gonna
RRQ
come
nggak
somewhere in
lolos
front of
maksud
him.
lu.
As he got that
Bang
first kill
Caster,
onto Lakia,
anjay.
gets out of his own Viper Pit just to make sure
boleh gitu ya.
that Texture can't trace where his position
RRQ ya,
was
bukan
outside
GenG ya.
of that one kill.
Okay, Gemskin on the dash in did spot
Hop.
Charon, at least for a
Hop.
brief little
Lah.
moment. And Ellymore going to be taken out. Meteor catches Flipshider at the same time. Xfero able to find Munchkin, pushing his way in towards the double doors there.
Nice, Gemkin.
Quick react, gets the headshot. Meteor goes
3 lawan
down.
3.
Jump peek.
Hop.
Noting
What?
Charon trying to get him, but his knives just kind of connecting.
Ya,
He ends up here, but now
kecolong
Xfero gonna
gara-gara
take it out,
naik.
so it's just these two players left here on the site. Vandal as a backup for Gemkin.
Whoop!
Comes with the vibe, comes in,
Gemkin.
He gets the headshot on the Texture before the wall can come up.
Whoop!
Looks for another one. Quick dash out.
Ya Allah, beliau lagi coy, nyusahin. Nggak sih? Nggak sih?
Wah!
Aduh, kill 3 ternyata. Anjir lah, ngeri coy. Gokil banget loh. Weh, beliau! Bisa loh si beliau. Mending gue.
Could have even waited for the wall to go down, I think. Right? To deal with the 1v1
Anjir
against
udah GG
Lakia.
loh, Gemkin loh.
I believe so.
Yeah, what
a bit of an
Kamu
overheat
telat ya
moment there.
monsterin.
Gemkin
Wah,
was really feeling it perhaps, but
Soklo,
decided to
soklo.
try to push the
93 start
tempo.
yang bagus coy.
Believe in himself.
Beliau si Cogil coy.
I mean, that was all still placed as well by just how well I feel like Texture's pressure has been. Again, I know, guys, I didn't see too much of the kills from Texture on that round, but it ultimately led to a lot of the players of RRQ trying to go even faster than they have been
Thank
in
you,
the previous
Rizal.
rounds, which in kind also allowed Charon, has also allowed the Astra to get, or Meteor and Charon to get these picks for GenG. And then it's just a matter of still having better utility to put Gemkin in a position where he either had to overheat or whether he had to go big or just overheat as what we saw. Tier 9 though,
Yeah, good
on the half,
banget.
still solid advantage from RRQ.
Yeah, a really monstrous one here for them. But not impossible for GenG either. They could all start here. Pistols.
This goes here. Yes.
were able to
Jangan
close out
dong,
both
jangan
on
dibilang terus
Lotus.
dong.
Drop the opener here on Breeze, but any comeback could begin with a pistol round win here in the second half.
Set for RRQ's pretty set standard. Get your wall for A main. It dips enough on mid that you should be able to push pillar just in case. GenG realize this, so they're gonna go for that mid hinge. Whether it's going to be a transition onto tunnel to B or double door would probably result in if they can get these early picks as well as they start coming in.
Quick lob out there.
Guys.
Gone Dart swiftly cleared, but multiple players had shots, so they know that there's forward presence here. Swap out the weapon, Lockett trying to get it, but actually going to be
What
Charon,
the
who is the
fuck,
savior,
man?
GenG. Been a bit of a quiet game for him thus far here with this Astra. But
Nice.
it's more as the smoke dissipates.
Nice,
Shot
menang
there
pistol.
on Munchkin to rescue the round.
RRQ mantap nih, mantap nih,
Stuff
mantap nih
from
cuy,
Charon,
mantap
but
nih cuy.
Think about it, they were still trapped on mid, had to deal with so many angles of re-attack from RRQ here, which RRQ did not miss the chance to go as soon as possible, because if they let GenG rotate out of there, their chances to punish dwindle down significantly. So as we see here on the replay, Xfero, knowing the timing, pushing out, having
Let's
his
go,
teammates
bro!
put that nest position to pinch, just allows
Let's go
RRQ to
bro!
secure that
Bani
position
bilang
even
let's go bro,
through the
keren
3K of
cuy.
Charon.
Bite down. Xfero just offering up an orb in exchange. It's Texture with the
Aduh,
Marshall in
hati-hati
hand.
Marshall ya.
Always a bit concerning for his opponents when he has it. Lakia just peeking halls for now, not going to be spotting too much of anything.
Hati-hati Marshall ya.
Estrella set up there, waiting to see if anybody is pushing forward in towards that outlaw.
Saw that flip, just went and straight up looked on his feet.
Ahead.
Straight with a dart and checking to see if anybody has crept close. Meteor, he's crept close out here in mid. Turn on the flash, drone coming down, gets the tag.
Waduh.
Swing a little bit late there from Flips to try to get the punish. But for now, just keeping GenG honest and trying to keep them tracked. So the ping's coming in. Estrella well aware that this forward push
That.
have to come through. And that's going to be the spike.
Spike down.
Oh.
Texture gone. Now swaps over to the reload.
payment nih bos.
And this is dire straits here for the side of GenG
Bisa.
in the eco.
Pakai di situ lagi anjay.
Try to recover
Boy
this one.
soek dapat dong RRQ nih kalau gini ceritanya. Bisa diambil.
Not gonna spot
Oh, nggak dijaga ya speknya ya?
There. Will now
Biarin aja ya.
Spot on the Munchkin.
10 seconds
Flash being
left.
sent out. Tucks away behind the pillars there. Even at long range, he will be able to win
Udah
that one out
banget
with the
mungkin bisa
Spectre in
bunuh
hand.
Spike.
The Spike is still stranded. Estrella able to readjust to take out Meteor
Oh,
before he
kill
can
4
find the
coy.
Sheriff. 4K here for the Sova and RRQ up to 11.
Udah 11 ya.
Ayo,
Ayo, udah 11 nih.
I guess a bit awkward that the spike was
Dua lagi.
first taken away from GenG, and then GenG realized this. We gotta try to pick it up again. Still though, there was a world where the pinch that was coming through Arch was gonna
Bentar
make
cuy,
that
gue toilet
value, but
bentar
Estrella
cuy.
is just too good on that outlaw to really be a true possibility here for GenG.
Yeah, I mean, look how far ahead he is right now as far as that ult charge is concerned. He's been absolutely fragging here on this map, especially in the second half. Very forward push from Flipshatter, though, creeping all the way up through the hall. Meteor in a spot where he could potentially get jumped on. You can see Flips just trying to tuck away, see if anyone's going to come walking forward and not check that trap door.
His Gate Crash did expire already, so he has to either reset it up or just push forward. He is getting checked though by Munchkin. Munchkin's about to actually hit that peak on Flipsider.
Doesn't go far enough, though. He actually backs away from it. Meantime, Texture, I mean, just absolutely convinced that there's somebody on the opposite side of that wall. He would be right. Looks like for now, it's just going to be the steady creep up. Nebula pop as they push their way up here through the double door. Jemkin pops the flash, takes a full blind, has to try to dash back. Lakia able to find the kill. Karen getting himself a second. What does Estrella does put that outlaw to use, finding another kill before getting taken out. Flips out. Wrapping around for the back. Gets the first headshot, looks for the second. Meteor does pull off the plant for a brief little moment there. Selmymore arrives. Suddenly a 1v1. A Guardian recovered. The camp finding the dart, the swing onto the corner. And he just can't quite line it up. Meteor. Fancy footwork, evades the shots. GenG will be able to find themselves a fourth round.
It's that Guardian cha-cha-cha. Just to see who gets the win on it. Man, that was so close too. I thought that Jemkin hit enough on Fence that he wasn't gonna get full blinded by that guiding light. And you saw the panic in his eyes, or the panic in his movement. Once he actually got that, he couldn't just stay there. He was gonna get scanned, so he had to cloud burst himself out. Again, tailwind as well. Tried to hold for a fight. Unfortunately, he dropped the texture and just could not hold the site. There were some great trades from RRQ here, but if only Jemkin could have held a little bit longer, that could have maybe been something for RRQ.
Opening dart there from Estrella, not going to be spotting much of anything. For GenG, Cosmic Divide, as well as a Neural Theft, that's what they have to work with here. Like after poking and prodding a little bit around mid and around A, bringing the spike over towards the B site, where for the time being it's just Selmymore standing guard.
Rencana.
Strong not going to see anything at all over
Ref
the hall.
Apa tadi cuy?
Scanning ahead.
This is still fairly split here from GenG. You still have Charon and Meteor just sat inside of A main, just statuesque, not making any sound.
The outsider's position is going to be key here.
Oh,
At least if
Bunny
Tunnel gets
dapat hit
pushed,
loh.
he's going to be able to react in time. And they're so aware of that. Look at the push and the rotations from RRQ.
Hunter's Fury and Texture tag down to 5 health. Hunter's Fury not going to be able to find the elimination.
Wah,
The heals
beliau
have
udah
to come through
jalan
there from
aja
Lakia.
nih.
Can get Texture back up to full HP. Sparrow swinging back around the pyramid, spotting one.
Aduh, gila flanknya ada dua loh, najis.
Cam at the ready, toggles into that one. Jemkin dashing back, throws in a cloud burst. Gets himself moved up over towards the bridge now. Texture breaking things open, finds one in mid. The drop down off the bridge.
Why?
Finds Jemkin, gets a straight in the door now.
Gila bisa kill kayak gitu loh si
Spike planted.
Meteor, what the hell,
Taking
man?
around into his hands, comes up with a
Oh,
4K, GenG up to 5.
Man, what a feint from GenG too. They couldn't find any picks on B, but they still had
Oi,
two players
begitu,
able
coy.
to push in on that A side.
Boleh
It's
ya?
Meteor and Karon here. Karon does get traded very quickly, but Meteor just holds an angle, and RRQ are so unaware of that. You saw the draw from Jemkin. He was thinking, maybe Meteor just doubled up with his teammate, went back
udah
onto
waktunya paus manja dong.
A side. No, he holds orange, gets that one kill. Again, RRQ unaware of this, picks up the second, just cleans up for the third. Absolutely beautiful stuff here from Meteor and GenG with some godly calls just to confuse RRQ's rotation.
Probably a bit of a sigh of relief right now from the coaching staff on GenG, because they burned both their timeouts within the first 10 rounds of this map. So they have been leaving GenG to their own devices, but now with RRQ, Ewok feeling the pressure, not wanting them to get back into this map, even though it's still a 6-round deficit. Solo can impart some knowledge here and observations over to the team. Let's see whose information is going to be more valuable.
Ayo
RRQ,
fokus, skip it up guys. RRQ harus fokus coy. Biar
at
map
least
3.
wanted to just get that map locked in, get themselves up to 12 so they have map point.
Yeah, they're just 2 steps away, right?
Bahaya.
All they need, but get the economy here from RRQ. Taking a bit of a beat down, as it is just going to be the half buy somewhat. Estrella, he wants to showcase how much accuracy he has with these more one-tap, one-kill weapons. So he's got himself the Guardian. Everyone else is somewhat underneath that in terms of firepower.
Camera taken out.
Close to a couple tools here. Zelmimore is creeping forward, but as the util clear comes out, he manages to jump over the top of it and hold it here. Spotting this.
Ketahuan
Swing back
tapi.
into him, and he's not ready
Wah,
for it.
kelihatan cok. Padahal lagi dekat.
Cannon's able to find the kill. Shadow now arriving around that
Bisa
corner, but with the
lompatin.
stinger in hand, he wouldn't be able to do too much of anything, and Xfero also has his head taken off. Jumping around, Lakia able to find Jemkin. Will send out a bit of a warning shot there. With 3 players alive, this is a very awkward split here for RRQ. Heat Crash not available.
Map 3, yuk.
Looks like
Ayo,
actively looking for
my
picks.
God.
Yeah. So long, Estrella.
Yep. Outdone by a Guardian. Now the full push.
Oh, Bani bisa kill.
GenG.
Oh, kan ni coy 5 orang.
Feeling comfortable, just go ahead.
Be,
Watch over
kasih
towards
tahu,
this B
kasih
site.
tahu, info.
Word now being sent over to Jemkin.
Ayo, Ban.
Try to make his way, but that Trailblazer is going to deny everything. He doesn't even get the opportunity to fire his weapon. Jemkin with the Guardian. He's got cash. I mean, he could try to save it, but dealing some damage might be what's on his mind. Either way, he'll start making his way back over towards that defender spawn. See if he can find anything.
Yeah, Jemkin's... I think he's been hit or miss this entire second gear, actually this entire series. He's gonna get those sick highlights. Then there's kind of like this. Yeah, he sure wins the fight against Munchkin, but takes too much of that damage. Maybe hit more exit frags. But I could be proven wrong.
Not able to get it. Still advancing.
Kalau Kroce dia nggak kalah satu map.
You can tell Jemkin, he was wary about it. He had a good understanding of what the movement could be, but unable to find the reaction or the shot. GenG now, 3-round win streak. Trying to claw this one back. Still 5 to go to tie it up.
That was a push though from Ellie. It could have been honestly something if he wasn't spotted through that jump on elbow. How would you recheck that? But you know what? We'll take it. We'll take it. RRQ back up to full, and Jemkin actually picking himself up the operator. Where is he playing at? Oh, Halls, but that mid smoke will possibly allow a double Door push.
Estrella not really spamming that smoke. We saw Texture doing very much the same thing, but he sends out a couple shots, misses everybody. Now Texture entering, finds Xpero back orange. Kill confirmed. Jemkin with the operator, just trying to make sure that nobody's going to be pushing up halls here. Flipshider does have the dimensional drift available. See if it comes into play, but now Lakia shutting him down. Finding the kill, Elmore caught Texture, finds himself a second.
Gelok banget anjir.
Now they just have to go for the save with the dashboard. They're in such a rough spot. Estrella will be able to peel some pressure. Takes down one, Cloudburst sent.
Lagi dah.
They both just try to peel back over here towards this B site and stay alive, but look at the rotation here from Meteor. He is going to look for this catch. They want to take all these weapons away from RRQ.
Last player standing.
Oof.
That's one more gone.
He's making a lot of noise too on this B side.
Stomping around. I don't think he's ready for this at all. He's just behind the wall and he's looking towards his spawn. Shot goes out. He drops down and Meteor is there to collect. Asking his teammate, do you want this? They say no. Op will remain on the ground, but GenG will continue plowing on.
And GenG just feels like, you know, after these timeouts and everything, one step forward every single round. And it's putting RRQ in such a decrepit state. Jemkin was kind of hoping that he gets some value off of this operator on halls. Absolutely not. And I think the problem here for RRQ really stemmed from that one starting round where you could have just sprayed, you know, a couple of seconds more on that smoke just to maybe dissuade, maybe even hit a couple of shots, but no.
Oh, Elmore, he's so far forward now. No creep up from elbow to threaten him, but right up in front. Snappy shot, Elmore finding Lakia. Sends out the near ult.
Bunuh guys, semua guys.
But already he's going to get dropped. Caron able to find the kill. The rest of the team not in a position where they can really try to capitalize. So in the end, it's just going to be the 1-for-1, but information gained for RRQ.
Flip's going to push through the tripwire. You can't see the Texture's aware that someone might just be lurking in that position. And RRQ's so passive in this. Yeah, sure, there's that forward push from Elmore, but that's about it.
There's a lot of pressure down here on the Flips, who needs to deliver at least a trade to give the team a hope. It's very fast with the shot. Texture this time, not getting the better of it. Gets the kill, pulls back. Dimensional drift still in his pocket should he need it.
This double stack on Double Door has to pay off. They were here for the span of like a minute.
Nice, ketahuan, nice.
Going to be able to collect the kill.
Boleh.
Meteor, RRQ, and thrifty attempt of all
Ini
things.
GenG
Finally going to be able to stop
sering buat
this momentum from GenG. Get themselves up to 12, but GenG still playing to win. The pit comes down, the plant coming.
Ulti, ada ulti ban nih, ada ulti ban nih.
The dimensional drift, they could use that just to try to identify Munchkin's location.
They're safe and sorry, right? Especially with how the separation for both Munchkin and Caron have been. Caron's actually gone on orange, and yeah, there it is. Activate that drift.
Cari ban.
The decoy, even though they know that they wouldn't be able to see the Yoru.
Wah, gila.
Munchkin finding one. Jim can take it down. They know that.
Why?
And center pyramid and Munchkin. He finds three. Sparrow solo. The tap on the spike. He gets that shot. Three of his
ngeri
own.
coy. Babi ngeri banget tuh.
Will move up to map point, looking to tie this with a thrifty win. Good God, the heroics from these Viper players.
Oh, okay.
Ngeri banget, Cok.
Take a
Hampir,
breather.
Cok.
Check out the replays. Great tactics all together here from RRQ. There were also some positions where they had to risk something. Again, Elmore's forward spot here, the entry of elbow, and that double stack between the two players of RRQ just to get the catch onto the lurking Meteor. And of course, the coup de grace, which is that kill from Xpero. But man, Munchkin made a damn good case that that might not have happened.
Flips spotting Lakia there on the little rope jiggle. Pop flash in. Munchkin.
Nice GenG. Ayo berantem. Nice, plus aja teman lu, nggak apa-apa, lanjutkan. Babi. Terus.
Very much trying to just shove
Terus
them away from this
temennya,
side.
nggak apa-apa. Oh bisa berantem dah tuh.
Wanting this.
RRQ menang.
Dissuade them. This flip holding wide. Lakia.
Aduh.
His is able to open things up here. Hall now broken open. They start creeping forward. It's actually going to be a 4-man push through Hall.
Give me a corpse.
This allows them to avoid the pit, get themselves out onto the side, especially as that neural theft now comes through. The Wizard at the ready, chasing forward. Spots it straight up for a brief little moment. Dart in for the pings here. Is Meteor out on the bridge and is straight unable to stabilize the aim. He puts some damage in, but cannot get the kill.
Bisa menang Meteor loh begitu, coy.
Sees the gun barrel, sees the shot. Hold still for the time being. This is just a back pyramid plant here from Texture. Johnson coming in. An awkward spot there. GenG, meanwhile, back on site. Finds one. Sends to the cloud burst. Texture pushes forward before it blooms. Finds the kill. Gets
AWP
Jet. Back.
Get AWP di attack
They want to
anjing.
take this to overtime.
Now what about a chicken too between RRQ and GenG on Halls? You saw that Flipsider at the first contact didn't use any of his conventional or his gates, and then once he starts moving up, that's when Lucky also did the same. What timing here for GenG to go again and get that contact, immediately opening things up. The Neural to follow up, the Halls, everybody from that A site that committed the close A main defend, which was I think that was GenG and teammate, because of the Viper Spit being used, was completely null and void. They had no control in that backside whatsoever because they lost Flipsider that early. So GenG was like, let's just keep pressing on. We already know we got this, and they did.
Very big round for GenG to win. Not being fettered by that thrift that they had just given up the round prior. And RRQ desperately wanting to close this out. Use their second timeout, so no more intervention here from the coaches unless we do in fact end up going to overtime.
Ayo closing woi.
4 rounds.
Ayo fokus satu round lagi loh.
Right? For very difficult rounds, but
Semalam kenapa live cuma sebentar ini internet DC.
This is looking a lot better for them.
Sorry internet DC kemarin.
It's going to be their second biggest piece of firepower. Flips does have enough to invest down onto a Bulldog. Like maybe a double push over towards double doors. As Recon Dart will get cleared by Meteor. GenG over the top,
hampir banget.
Mantek. Target not found.
Was a risk though too. That means that they know that he's already used up all of his mobility tools, so they can start to, I think, just compress and fight together in a certain spot here, so that they don't risk giving GenG any resets.
Oh, it's a check.
Bencana.
Shatter just flush against the pyramid, staying put.
Chill guys.
You're just trying to see if you can spot anything at all, but RQ, they're not giving up any tells.
Now the ball
comes down,
it.
gate crash, send. A little bit of spam coming through. Looking for that stun, and Texture pulling his knives, rushing
Ayo
forward,
bareng.
trying to chase.
Nice. Woi bantuin. Astagfirullahaladzim. Masa iya gitu lagi coy. Coy, David udah bunuh coy.
Thrifty this time around, not going to be coming through.
Coy.
Get ready to go into the next buy round. This is what the timeout is all about. But can RQ make it happen?
There's a cosmic divide on Charon too. That's going to make it infinitely more difficult, as we've seen how strong that separation is. Charon just knows exactly what specific cosmic divide setup they want, and it has been such a blight upon RRQ's retakes. Big issue here too is they haven't really dealt with Texture's operator on attack, because they have to hold these angles for information. Texture's just like, yeah, sure, I know where you're gonna peek me, and he's always somehow managed to get that shot off.
He's looking forward again. Sparrow and Elmi Moore both have their attention trained here. In towards main. No swing out. Try to get the punish. They just let him go back. For now, just going to be the camera cleared. Forward position here for Meteor. It's outside the door. There's a trap wire on the far side that he would have to deal with here. So Upshot goes in, trying to see if somebody pushes up into that corner.
Satu orang lagi yuk.
So far, Sparrow widely able to avoid all of that. Just takes a little bit of damage. Right side down, he's out in the open. Texture swaps over to Vandal, managing to find the kill. Up on top of the box now.
Ya Allah, bisa kayak gitu gak angle-nya?
Hunter's Fury was fishing, but it found absolutely nothing. Gun barrel might have been spotted there.
Ya ampun, masa iya coy?
Takes out Elmi Moore. It's just Jemkin and Estrella left standing.
Emang boleh coy?
They have to.
Yeah.
So much money here from the side of GenG, though. They can very much afford to go for this hunt. You can see Karon's starting to sprint over towards that side of the map. Any punish is just monstrous.
And this is another iteration of GenG's push on halls, right? They didn't have to
boleh
push and
setipis
break
ini.
that tripwire.
Ini gimana
All they
nih,
were
Be?
really hoping for, as what we saw with Meteor, is he throws out the cyber cage, then opens up the door so that again he
Waktunya AE,
prevents
Be.
anybody
Main
from RRQ
differential
that's
ya,
playing
Be.
at the back of the site. Once that happens, they separate the site, they have Texture
Oh,
swap up to that
di-walk-in,
Vandal of
coy.
his, and just start shooting him
Oh,
down.
hampir
5
aja.
HP. Jemkin lucky to be alive. The rest of GenG not going to be able to get in a position to finalize either of those kills. As you can see, though,
Kayak
wise not great.
kalau dibilang ayam kalah sebenarnya
They really have to have
mungkin
somebody hold
kelihatan kalahnya tuh
Hall's
karena
position.
posisi anak-anak RRQ tuh
Okay, they just bumped heads.
gak bagus untuk adu ayam gitu loh.
They used Flipsider.
Nah, kalau
He lost
Bani
Lakia.
tadi mati karena orang
Texture's been
MN-nya
peeking it from
itu
time
udah
to time
make
with
a
an
play
operator.
texture sih.
So RRQ, there you go. Look at this read from GenG. They're like, RRQ's, surely they start putting more bodies here, which they
Harus
have.
turun gunung udah nih, Pi.
GenG's on the other
Asli,
direction of the
Pi.
map.
Start drifting back over now.
Terus main sini.
With no sights on mid, the Poison Orb cutting off Nest Division. Can't be sure if anyone's actually
Coy,
crept
masa
all
ya
the way
kebalap
forward,
coy.
so
Ini gak lucu kalau OT ya.
being wary of that for now.
Satu round lagi loh.
Once more,
Oh.
may just
Ya,
end up being this A site hit coming through as we see Karon Lakia start drifting back over towards that
Sisi
side of the
menentukan
map.
prestasi, Be. Posisi lu jelek tuh.
Cersei has a dart, so he's just checking it.
Tuh,
He's just
kemungkinan
checking
besar
it
kalah
for now.
nembaknya lebih tinggi.
But probably once we hit like around 40 seconds, they might start to think something's wrong.
Okay, well, objective number 1 achieved. They have noted.
Ayo Pit, ayo Pit. Nice Pit, woi David udah bunuh nih, woi.
He's pushing over top of
Kepala
that
5.
poison, so does get vulnerable.
Rotate.
Texture burns the dash.
Rotate.
Already a bit of a win here for the side of RRQ.
Ya.
Just getting that opening
Genji yang
kill.
cabut anjing.
GenG now turning the sights over towards B, which needs to be matched here by RRQ because they have completely abandoned it.
Genji pulang cok.
It's
Ya,
Shepard
udah
there
pada
too,
rotate
that's
dia
holding
balik
the
ke B
position.
dong.
Nobody's rotated for RRQ, and they're so set in their ways that they think it's gonna be
Wah,
the
retake
I think
apa-apa
they're
retake.
so worried that
Ada
somebody
ulti
had
nggak?
already deep lurked
Aduh, nggak
in
ada
towards B,
ulti.
playing
Ada
split
ulti.
away from the rest of the team, not realizing that GenG was a full
Sama-sama
5-man.
nggak ada ulti,
Ready to
sama-sama nggak
attack
ada
that
ulti.
A site, but now they have to work their way over towards B. Can they do it?
Sama nggak ada ulti.
Cam now clear, defensive
Ayo
position
coy,
set up
retake-nya
here.
coy, retake-nya coy, retake, fokus
Pretty
retake
good
coy.
overall for the side of GenG. They got Karon out in main. The elbow push from Lakia. Swing out. 2 players going to be spotted. Texture unable to collect the kills on either, but still puts in some good damage. More leading the charge.
Nice, Jemkin.
Trying to stay elusive. Munchkin the first one.
Nice,
Sparrow swinging around
Pit.
the back of the wall. Texture now taken down. They're looking for the hold.
Nice.
Down the Lakia.
Wow, closingnya sangat bagus guys. Akhirnya flawless.
We are going the distance here in our opening
Let's
series.
go.
So you do not want to go down without a fight.
Lakia had a chance to actually flank from tunnel, but then there was a weird interaction where he spotted Flipsider, started running back on elbow, and he lost time to help out his teammates.
Aman,
Ultimately,
coy.
GenG just not having
Game.
enough firepower to break down the full force of
Game
RRQ
3.
taking that site. This means we're gonna go to a game number 3. What a series this has been.
It's just something about these two teams fated to face off against one another time and time again, fated to go to game 3 in both of their series against each other so far here this season during kickoff. But we'll go ahead and hand it back down to the analyst. Destner standing by to break down the action for Breeze.
course, we had to go to a map 3 in this GenG versus RRQ league that we're having, right? Paper Thin, it had to go this way.
Yeah, it feels like it for sure, and it's really encouraging here that out the gate, it's a really strong start for RRQ on their attacker side. They look really clean. The Yoru worked a treat. Flips was really disrupting, especially Meteor on that side. He was having a really tough time dealing with it. I really liked what they dialed up for this map.
I really like that Yoru too. I mean, the guy just really knew how to kind of make use of the dimensional drift at times, or even the fake out to cut into space and really, like you said, disrupt your opponents. I think those are one of the main things, because even though there were times that you have the Viper's pit up, or Texture's trying to get a good angle on his opponents, as soon as Flips comes in from the sides and keeps annoying him, there's always that other factor. You're always wondering in the back of your minds, is this guy going to flash against me? Is this guy going to pop up? So that was a great first half.
Sabar yang belum dicairin.
I was gonna say, but right, they nearly lost it. Yes, they were able to close it out, but that was because of the massive lead that they had in the first half, right? They nearly lost it when they switched over to sides, because GenG, again, that aggression from Texture, the first kills that he was able to get, and that would like shake up RRQ, right? They don't have that ability to just rally back together just yet. It's not as confident just yet, but we did see shades of it in this map.
Yeah, exactly, and it helped that they got some pistol wins. Like, that was a really big factor here. Again, on Lotus, they couldn't find any pistol round wins. Here they get some, so that kind of sets the tempo as well to really give themselves that extra cushion going into that second half. Even though there is a pretty good run back, it is kind of an attacker-sided comp though, right? Double duelist, you kind of expect that. You gotta get that damage done on the attacker side. So for RRQ, mission accomplished. Send it into map 3. We're going to take another look at Icebox, so this is going to be really exciting, because last time it was a very close map.
That's right, and that's why we were worried about, this going into map number 3, because we did mention that, if RRQ want to close this out, they might need to take the first map as well. How are we feeling now that we're going over to Icebox, Quack? I mean, last time wasn't exactly good for the side of RRQ.
It's pretty shaky. Very close though, right? I mean, that's the one thing that they've got going for them. The composition was rather similar. One difference being that Estrella was on the Sova, and yet Munchkin on the KOs, which is a little bit different as well. Like the Sentinel or the Viper, like what we're seeing right now. But that's the main thing, because Texture popped off of that map. Texture's popping off right now. 13-10. Although GenG lost, you still got the top score in terms of frags. And yeah, it's that power of friendship from RRQ. So, can they continue to bring that power through to Icebox and really correct the mistakes from day one? Because if not, you can expect the same stuff from Texture and Munchkin. Munchkin always sets him up. Texture just comes in and does his thing. 30 frags easy, and that's the game bye-bye.
That's what I do like this double duelist look on the side of RRQ, especially for Flips, who I believe has only played the Yori like only once before, and it's been quite a while indeed. So this new look is actually, it's experimental. It was a bit of a gamble against, GenG, of course, as they always say is their kryptonite, but I like that they're showing that they have this card in their hand, right? For Icebox, though, wondering what else they have
Texture.
Yeah, I mean, my
pas di GenG kelihatan banget jagonya anjir.
I don't expect, because it was so close, that there'll be a lot of
IGS sebelumnya juga.
changes. There will be a lot of strategic changes and things like that. The only thing that concerns me about RRQ is I've seen some mental mistakes here and there, like they'll call for a save and like Estrella decides to go for a long-range fight with a Phantom versus a Vandal. Things like that were a little bit concerning. However, what isn't concerning is Jemkin's play right now. Today he's been very solid. Even though they lost on Lotus, he had a really good showing there with his individual performance. Now he's on the Jet. He has another stellar performance. So the good news here for RRQ is that your duelist is keeping up with Texture. It's just, can the rest of the team keep it up behind him? That's what was missing on Lotus.
Right, we still got that Gecko. You still have Astray on the Sova. Don't know how much really, unless you can really time the recon bolts along with GenG to come for some like retakes, for example. But it's going to be difficult to say the least. To say the most, it is RRQ's best shot at winning this, age-old rivalry against GenG. So they've got to make it happen.
Are they finally going to make it happen? That's going to be the big question, especially since that this has been going on since last year, right? But this is a good sign. Jemkin definitely keeping up with Texture here. And they kind of have they're mirroring each other's problems in a way, right? It's kind of cool to see that Gemcon is keeping up with Texture, as you mentioned, Paper Thin, especially since, you know, you did have Australia. I do agree that sometimes you felt like he was falling off a little bit or not quite in sync with the rest of the squad.
Yeah, it's more, it seems like, of a communication issue potentially, not, and this is something that Ewok alluded to in the pre-match interview, right? He said that we're still trying to integrate Australia into communicating with us using the English, you know, as their primary language as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's very understandable. And again, this is kickoff, right? This is only just the first few cards that we're seeing out of the hands of these teams. Now, just to refresh everybody's memory, on Icebox last time, the score came very, very close, and it's 13-11 once again. I feel like it could go this way once more. We may even see an overtime. Don't kill me just yet. I don't know, but between these two teams, they just know each other's, you know, so well. Even though these are new rosters, you do have that knowledge, you know, on the side of the players that have stayed, and especially since, again, kickoff, it's showing that you definitely want to make a mark of, especially since this is your debut on the specific stage.
It really is. I mean, you want to be able to start things out right, and we're going back towards Icebox. Back then, the first day, they had 6-6 in the end of the first half. It was just that GenG had a little bit more. Now, you know, we were talking about Texture, we're talking about Gemkin. Of course, they're really strong. Also, by the way, Den the Penguin is here because
he's lonely now. What happened to his friend? Why did you take him away from his friend? I blame you.
Is this a sign? Oh, what happened to the power of friendship?
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
That's the curse? Is that what this is? I hope not, but you know, that's the thing.
I didn't touch anything.
I'm thinking about the Gecko pick for this one because we had flips against Lakia on this Gecko. Lakia, you know, it was a little bit middling, I think, but then in the end of the first map, he really popped off. Is this performance going to carry through to Icebox now compared to day one where he wasn't really doing as much? If it really does, then RRQ is going to have a really, really rough time. Flips has to, you know, really do a lot more.
No, I agree. And I noticed during Breeze, at least, that it seems really crucial for GenG to have Lakia alive because he's the one that's like setting up their plays. When he would die on their attacker side, it was like round over because they obviously the initiator, right, with that comp that they ran. That's kind of problematic for them to begin with. But also, you know, on Lotus, he was the one setting the stage with the Fade utility. He was the one who was able to clear out, you know, some of that space that they needed. They're going to need him to do that again on the Gecko. It's really crucial here for GenG that Lakia keeps himself in the game, isn't the one leading the way. I don't know what was going on in that one round in Breeze where he had the spike and he just walked up mid and died to Elmimore Sheriff. Like, that was very weird to me. But if they could keep him alive, the rounds went very, very well.
Speaking of Elmimore Sheriff, he definitely had quite a performance indeed on this series, right? And he's definitely, you can see also the energy levels of RRQ, right? You can see that he's the one usually cheering the team on, being very, very loud, smiling as well. And you saw the body language of RRQ after this series. It's a bit more toned down, it's a bit more somber because they know what this map win actually took out of them.
Yeah, so I mean, if they can start things right, you know, pick up the pistol just as they've done on Breeze and do things like that. You know, we were thinking that Breeze was such a strong map for GenG based off their performance against Paper X. Now we're seeing the same old RRQ, getting the pistol wins, getting Sheriff kills, Thrifties. Oh my good, that's like RRQ from last year. If they can keep that up, and you're hearing them shout and cheer every time they win a single round, they can continue to bring that momentum forward and keep that morale up. If that can happen, then, you know, you really stand a chance.
Yeah, definitely need to keep that morale up, especially since we are going into Icebox and it looks like no changes. They do want a second take at what, you know, happened previously just a few days ago.
Yeah, and so obviously the difference is part of the initiator battle, right? With the information gathering initiators, you know, using those knives to great effect for Munchkin. Like we saw the other day, Quack mentioned setting up Texture with the flashes. We saw some really good pop flashes from, I can remember one behind YOLO that was so perfectly timed. It was crazy good. So things like that are going to be the advantages that GenG is going to lean into, going to need to press to get Texture going, to give him that extra boost to kind of best Gemkin, who's having a really solid day.
I just want to see RRQ start things off right with the pistols.
Yeah, we cannot wait. And here we go once again, this time into Icebox. Let's pass it over to your casters, Achilles and Azurai.
Thank you very much. Here we go once more into the breach. Icebox again between these two teams was the opening map just a couple days ago. Now it will be the one that determines who is staying in the tournament and who is going on a bit of a holiday.
Ah, ini yang bet dikit banget anjir.
This
Lihat.
also was the map
Satu
I
doang,
said
Cok.
that Jemkin had the most impact
Ayolah.
on for RRQ
Belum
when
ketutup
that
nih.
series started. But to be fair, that was the first map of that series from a couple of days ago. So this will definitely test the stamina of this man. And the reason why I point this out is just because of how impactful
Ya.
some of the rounds have been
Ya, nggak ada
because
lagi
of
kan?
Jemkin's push alongside Flipsider. So we'll see. We'll see.
Ayo,
Oh.
bet.
Oh, what a bait! Hero,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Baiting him in, managing to find one, but cannot get the follow-up, so Texture able to equalize. That's going to be one of the flashes taken away here from the side of GenG, but now they make their way over to the site. With that wingman, the plant can come down. Shiner spotting Meteor here on the back end. Here's the double footsteps coming through the Dizzy as well, getting the catch. Swing in, getting ready to come through though.
Tutup.
Heron trying to bail him out. Feels
Aman,
back to that
aman.
pressure. The re-swing. Jemkin going to be good for one. Pushing up. Meteor, however, good for the other, but Jemkin now finds two. Identifying as well. That position from Lakia. That's his way over underneath tube. Three remaining players here from RRQ now on the site. Tap onto the spike. Texture staying quiet. Spots one.
Gebukin
noticed.
bareng.
Hit the headshot here as they look to wrap around
Nice.
on top of him. They managed to make it happen, but now Lakia re-swinging back here. Gets the dink,
What?
gets the kill. Finding one, they're going to have to try to stick to this one. He gets them off in it. And Lakia looks for the clutch. It's already been done, but he still gets the headshot. The 3K to get GenG. Yet another pistol round.
Naik. Bisa gitu dah. 3 lawan 1 loh.
GenG burned so much time. RRQ just had no capability to even have the
Apaan
defuse
sih?
on that. There was this one interaction too where 3 players of RRQ was chasing Texture on yellow. Possibly not the wisest decision.
Esther,
They had to run all the
sumpah.
way back where Locky was waiting, and he performed surgery. by taking
Suruh
down one
Estrella
on
yang defuse sudah, yang jaga Hagai lebih better.
Only more trying to get up in front. Seems like they are very well aware. Yeah, they are. They know that there's going to be somebody lurking here. The Dizzy shot helping to give it away. Only more trying to come up with a cheeky play, ends up falling very quickly. It's now recovered. Sparrow trying to lurk forward. Has been noted by that 0 point. Swing onto the corner. Texture putting some damage down, putting in the kill. The one shot on the shoulder there, so Munchkin still very healthy here.
Wow.
Shots come flying. Lakia dragging him down. Dizzy up over the top, helping to keep himself safe. As covering fire comes in from his teammates, Estrella will be able to get the headshot there to put him down, but with 1 HP and the spray coming his way, he will fall. GenG, very fast rounds back to back as they move up 2-0.
And these Dizzy value for both GenG and RRQ.
Kok deg-degan
yeah,
gini ya
not just
coy,
RRQ though,
sumpah.
but the amount of targets being blinded, right, has been pretty substantial here and quite impactful too.
Decent value being found, but especially for Lakia, who now does have that Thresh online. And you can see, I mean, going into opponents, the firepower here for GenG, it's not too bad. Guardian, 2 other rifles.
Seharusnya nggak dibantai coy.
Sparrow this time, no bait attempt, just going to be sniping that one out of the sky.
Kalau tadi menang Pisoron.
Meteor using the smoke to sneak his way in under orange.
Sparrow just around that corner.
Is he aware?
He's cutting around over towards Snowman, but now Meteor with the jump. Able to find Estrella. Quickly punished though. The 1-for-1. Elmi Moore does get the kill. RRQ for now, not fully convinced
Aduh.
this is still going to end up being
Udah nggak
a
jelas.
hit.
Cak,
Here's the
cak.
wingman coming in, the Dizzy up over the top. They are looking for Xpero, and they will find him.
Gila, bagus banget.
Set plays to just really take deep positions here on the map, on these sites. Looking gorgeous for GenG, and they're going to convert yet another bonus.
I really love the use of these Dizzies. They follow up so beautifully well with the charge out from Texture at that very last tick just before the Dizzy expires. Texture's already there to go for the punish. And again, they realize that they've lost control of Orange, so if they really want to secure this plant on the with the wingman,
Cok, itu kenapa bisa jebol mid-nya anjir.
so GenG just knowing how to follow
Larang
through
bot
so
kah?
efficiently and quickly that again RRQ is just not able to really catch up.
I mean, and it's another bonus conversion, their third one so far. They converted both back over on Lotus in map 1. And they managed to do it again here on Icebox, and they don't have to use the Thrash for it either. So that ult still very much held on to, and as you can see from RRQ,
Ini kalau dalam 4 baru time out dah.
far away from their ultimates.
Terlalu early ini buat time out.
And what an expensive round for RRQ. That really hurts them too. Thrash is available for Lakia, and they want to try their setup here on A. Toxic Screen is on B though, so they always have that backup plan, but we'll see how this goes. It's Jemkin right on top.
Dizzy to check for a forward spot. Jemkin for now. Staying put, drifts back, gets himself up on top of screens. Really wary about anybody coming out from that belt push. Oh, standard Icebox play, investigate A, rotate to B, or vice versa. Now the push starts coming in. Decent defensive setup is here, though. Nano swarms to try to really slow up the advances, plus that alarm bot.
Meteor udah dapat
close
A.
too. They only have, what, 1 smoke from the Viper here on B?
That 0-point catch is, no, it's a nice little backpedal there. Only more not getting caught. Nano swarms now coming in. Xpera, however, going to be blinded up. Molly out onto the side of Xpera. He's just melting down. Gets the top of yellow and finds 2 in the meantime.
They're backing away again.
Meteor.
Jadi ke B lagi dia.
That's gonna be RQ saying, okay, we have to go to B now. Start working their way over, but Texture, I mean, he's
Jadi
still
balik dia tuh, gara-gara A-nya mati.
holding forward here. Dart not finding much. Texture gonna be spotted. Wingman gets the plant. Dart gets the ping. Thrash now gonna be let loose. Still gonna shove them all back, but Lakia trying to bring it back over to himself, maybe for a recovery, but given the positioning, don't think it's gonna be possible. Munchkin now rotating in through mid, gets the backstab, shot goes down. And they would love to make a call to go for a save yet again, but they know that they are being encroached upon, so that becomes so much more difficult. Pushing out, Jemkin's gonna be good for 1, but Sova gets taken down. Jemkin trying to make this bit of a punishment here for them. Winning the round, it's not gonna be able to happen. He just barely misses the opportunity to take down Karon as well.
Spike.
Munchkin swing it out, snappy.
Sebenarnya bukan permasalahan
Stops him from escaping as GenG move up
RRQ
4-0.
di attack. Kalau misalnya tahu RRQ kok di attack, minimal eventnya harus ngambil poin sebanyak-banyaknya. Biar mempermudah.
First things first, this is what I was talking about. You said it already, because of that KO blade hitting yellow and dropping all the utility of Xfero, he was put in a position where he was so near, couldn't really get out of harm's way because he's the only smoker, so no smokes of coverage for him to reposition, and GenG just had lineups, just kept pressing in, and again, if he couldn't get any kills,
Soalnya butuh momentum dulu biar attack-nya kuat.
Turn set up. Jemkin not wanting to peek into that, not wanting to give away this position. Lakia just jumping back and forth. He's perfectly aware that somebody could have moved up into this spot. As now it will be confirmed. Takes the rope out. No attempt at a swing from Lakia, knowing that there's going to be somebody trying to cover for Jemkin on that excursion. So once again,
Gila, ini Munchkin udah nyampe sini aja.
but this time, as they get ready to move towards B, I mean, the call being sounded, it would seem here from RRQ as the rotations do begin. They are not forward onto the site.
Yeah, that blade's gonna clear everything on the side, so it should be a safe plan whatsoever.
Ambil
If they try
lagi.
to have any lineups, there's the push at the back of Snowman once again.
It's a triple push, but now Jemkin arriving, managing to come up with 2. Texture is one
Nice
cut out
banget
for him.
Jemkin.
Just catches 1. A 3v3 so far. Thrash comes in. There's the clear out. Texture backing away. Keeps himself safe for the time being as the Dizzy goes chasing but finds nothing. Texture swinging back. Spotting Elmy Moore. Knocked down to 50 HP. Drops down off the top. Looks for the headshot. Can't make it happen. Elmy Moore taking him down. Fragment now going to be invested. Just trying to clear them off to keep them off of this spike. Getting the half defuse. As Meteor finds 2 and brings them into a 1v1. Swings on the corner, but Flipshire stands his ground. Has the wingman defusing. And RRQ will be able to pull off a near thrifty win to get themselves on the board.
Huge round for Jemkin too. Those 2 off-cam kills were so important for him. You saw how much effort GenG used just to chase down Ultra Estrella. That's the kills that he got. That is perfect too, because that means that the players of GenG that was supposed to have control up until the back of Snowman is already gone. They immediately got reverted to B main, which made it easier for Flipsider here to set up his wingman and himself for that defuse and for the clutch on the round.
Blades for Texture. Oh no, actually holding up. They opt to pick up the Phantom anyway.
Enemy tag.
Push out a tube, and for the clear out onto the turret, and Elmi Moore is just gunned
Ini
down
kalah gugur,
so
iya.
far forward. No hope of bailout and nowhere to go. Was maybe anticipating, one player to be watching this rather than a full firing squad from GenG.
Who just could not escape the bad situation. And even use the turret, right, to, I don't know, maybe kind of some escape tactic or something. Just not gonna work. Flipsider.
Uh-oh.
Could be something.
Does get stunned, but Jemkin in a position where he can try to peel for him if that pressure were to come.
Yeah.
Is just bouncing his way up on the belt, finds the kill. Now Flipsider has to hightail it out. No utility he can use to try to offer up a smooth escape. As that null command does come through. Tries to just re-aggress through the wall. It's cut down. Texture finds the kill. Estrella as well. Back on Raptors, dead. The headshot is bound. Xpero comes up with one, spots another. Clears out the Dizzy, but Caron just continues to wide swing, avoiding the spray and getting the kill. GenG right back into the driver's seat as they move up to 5 already here on the attack.
And RRQ look like they're just playing through the motions here. I understand the bait and switch there between Jemkin and Flipsider, but Flipsider re-peeking an angle when the null command is used, when the toxic screen is up. I mean, that was way too risky for him to take, especially when his teammates were still very far from really helping him out in that case. I mean, it could be a heroic play, but when GenG are so dialed in, that just turns into a quick -1 that RRQ do not want when they want to retake a site.
Knives out. Shorty is a backup here for Jemkin.
Here.
This is time. It seems like GenG might not be backing away from this site. Not too much that they have to respect ultimately, given that they know their opponents are on a weaker buy, and lockdown is available. So they actually want to try to invest in here, though. The drop down. Getting Lafine one, swings back out, nearly takes out Lakia, but can't confirm the kill.
Tembak aja.
Rhea,
Buat tembak aja.
trying to get the clear out onto that wingman. Could have disrupted the plan, but those find Caron. As the dart goes in and Lakia can back away. Flipsider in the meantime. Himself in around the back.
Ooh, chance.
Thrash coming through the alarm bot. Jig is up. Lockdown invested now as the Hunter's Fury crashes across. Estrella is able to find Lakia. Sparrow getting himself another kill. Now it's all on a Meteor. Lockdown was cleared. Time still ticking away. Does he read the left side approach? There's the rope across. Flipsider avoiding every and all shot. Estrella will be able to find the kill in the end. RRQ somehow coming up with the goods here.
Thrifty.
All those small decisions leading into a very, very good Thrifty round here. Was that 2 Thrifty round wins?
The one wasn't mathematically won, but it was effectively won.
Okay.
They had a carried over rifle, and I think they blocked.
Tahu juga gua kenapa nggak
a
di-cancel.
Guardian or something into the other. So basically, they have 2 Thrifties.
These rounds that they got into are very scrappy, right?
Oh yeah.
The flank from Flipsider to get that, the ultimate from Estrella to kind of supplement and break the lockdown too. Plus, as you mentioned, not stopping the wingman, but rather looking for a more effective kill onto Caron, which I think ultimately just helped them out.
I mean, it did end up removing a lot of that potential post-plan utility. One extra person that he isn't going to be watching from behind to stop that flank from coming in from Flipsider, but at the time, it seemed concerning that the plan went through to begin with. 0 Point does get the catch here onto Xpero. There's the plan. Texture swinging onto the corner. Shots goes his way.
What the fuck, Texture movement?
Blade still held. Is lockdown going to be invested in screens here by Elmi Moore.
Gonna force everyone back, but
no, fragments in on top of it. They have the destruction. Munchkin ready for the play. Dizzy goes up. Texture trying to tuck into the corner. Ends up getting caught. Knives come back out. Manages to expend all of them without getting too much damage through, but still.
Wait, yang bener dong.
Classic kicks out Xpero. Jemkin finally with a shorty. Gonna be able to find one, but then it's a blink and you miss it moment. As the pit does drop, so too do the hearts of RRQ.
Tadi udah tap, kenapa nggak dilanjutin ya?
Cleaning up the rest of the players now.
Ini mah setengah lah.
Was that really a Viper Pit that helped RRQ or helped GenG in the process? Right, because that was Xpero using his own ultimate for things. Look at the replay real quick here. Yeah, everybody was somewhere placed on either belt or rafters. And obviously, because of the plant on that spike, they could just shoot through the Viper pit, and everyone from RRQ would have to be checking.
Kerja, stop.
They were kind of just hoping that everyone was fighting inside that pit, but unfortunately,
Kameraman dyan dulu.
high ground advantage for GenG ultimately wins them that round. Struggles, man, for RRQ. They're trying to make these quick, on-the-fly decisions that is ultimately just hurting the entirety of the round for them.
Earliest timeout we've seen from RRQ thus far. Not feeling comfortable at all in this position they find themselves in. 6-6 is the most that they can hope for here. And even then, just given the pace that's being set right now from GenG, not sure if it necessarily even feels possible for the players to be able to get back up to 6, but they're certainly going to try. Economy, again, weakened, broken down. Just two heroes here. Flips goes back and forth between that.
May kabay ka niya.
Determine which one he wants. Does land on the Vandal in the end here, it would seem.
That man mid niya sekarang.
Otherwise, two Sheriffs and a Stinger to accompany.
Atas tup.
Laki has been such a great initiator player. What a Swiss Army knife of initiator roles that he's been able to do, right?
Been around since the very beginning here. As there's the chase in, and Elmimore, great peek out.
Whoa!
Can't make it happen.
Agay!
RRQ right now. Thrifties on this map. Again, it won't count. They buy 2 rifles. But good.
Kau pengen lihat dia bunuh tekstur.
It's these broken buys, putting, I think, GenG in a false sense of security, or RRQ just
Pas dia nyelamatin Astral lah, pengen lihat gua.
not having all of these good, better weapons or these better buys.
Oh.
They're just honed in. Look at that.
I mean,
could he have? Yeah.
Disgusting.
Could he have done better on a Vandal? That's
Oh,
the
gila
question.
You know, I want to say yes, just given the disparity in firepower between those guns, but given that it's Elmimore, he's just, you know, he made a name for himself coming into last season because of his Sheriff plays. I've said this before, I'll say it again, just stop buying rifles, Zoe. Use a damn Sheriff.
There's
every
3
time.
different snipers right now for him to choose, right?
There's only one. It's the Sheriff. It's a sniper in his hands. Well, push up now. A lot of space given over here for free as Jemkin is the only one on the site. Swing out. He noticed it. Swings in. Finds Meteor. Tries to make his exit, but Texture quick on the punish. The spike now being brought forward. Lakia can begin the plan.
Kaget tuh pasti tuh.
Ollie is at the ready. Trying to slow them up. Not get the clear out onto the wingman, which it does. Stun now coming through, but no one able to push up and really get the punish here.
Coming back.
Flank on flank.
Elmimore. Rather back. How patiently does it play it? Not very, but still gets the kill. Now their attention is drawn. Texture pushing, catching Xpero, advancing over the screens, but Elmimore now up top. As he tries to jump, Texture gets the punish.
Gila tekstur.
4K.
Tekstur anjir. Jago banget, Cok.
Just not allowing for RRQ to get any consecutive round win.
Gila konsisten parah anjir.
And sadly for RRQ, this is still a buy round for them, so no thrifties. I kid, I jest, but look at the timing for Texture too. There was such a small window for him to face the site, deal with the flank coming in from Elmimore, and face the site once again, and he just does it into swift, decisive motion. Texture.
Pantas Meteor mau main Killjoy, teksturnya jago gitu.
Oh, he really has been, and this is it's a devastating position to be in for RRQ. 2 more rounds to be played out. Really only maybe 1 more ultimate to be seen before the half. Xpero though with a nice swing out does take down Munchkin.
Mana dia mau main duelis?
Kill to be found, but Caron with this pin.
Kan ada
CEO situation here for GenG.
Welcome to my world.
There's the investment. It's far enough just to clear. Thrash now chasing forward, looking for a target. It actually might have caught somebody, and it has. Lockett going to be detained there for the brief little moment, but Texture with some covering fire. Managing to find one already. Right into the pit. Flip Shatter puts a bit of damage down, but now the Thrash going right.
Aduh, kena 2
Texture as well. They're both detained, but can anybody find the kills? The answer's
Gelo. Coy, chaos coy.
Lockett finds one and flips.
Haha, chaos. Busuk jing.
Texture gets the weapon back into his hands, and GenG will take very chaotic, cartoonish round victory to now lock in 8.
I mean, no matter what happens, the Viper Spin's still there. They have to go inside it to defuse it, and it's still effective cover for the other players of GenG that were not hit by the concuss of that Thrash. So, effectively, it still works in their favor. RRQ, the players that weren't concussed themselves, were so confused or just couldn't really have that push power to get into the deeper portions of B main to effectively remove players of GenG that were holding for that post plan. Oh, very close.
Well, maybe we would try to see an orb play here from Elmimore, but seems like RRQ
Mati nih
assessing that
Estrella.
might be a bit too risky for it. Otherwise, he is just one off from that lockdown that could be absolutely paramount for them. Speaking of lockdown,
Ya, Bani nge-pick.
he's trying to go for the kill. Instead, gets melted down. So now the players are just going to have to go ahead and back away, get out of the sight.
Got too antsy. Very antsy. As soon as that lockdown dropped, he started moving.
You can see the adjustments here from GenG as well. The double setup on the U-Kill behind, trying to make sure that those wraparounds cannot come through. Jemkin with an opening kill, able to
Oh, nice, Jemkin.
Here, Texture seemingly lining up for him. End up getting taken down. Karon up over the top, spots him. Finally has the headshot. The 1v2.
Estrella, lo harus menang.
Trying to make it happen, can't get them over the line. So it's 4 rounds and a half for RRQ, but GenG still cozy, still out in front with 8.
And what double kill there for Jemkin to really stop that offense.
8-4, oke cuy, attack-nya, ayo, RRQ.
Thought he was already playing for the post plant, but when you look at it, the spike wasn't even planted, so he had to make something happen first, knowing that there were players of RRQ already either
Iya, padahal Jemkinnya bagus banget.
or just somewhere in the vicinity. Either one of those things, he cannot plant the spike without getting punished immediately as soon as he makes that sound cue. So he just had to go for the Hail Mary peek. Fortunately for RRQ here, they doubled up perfectly the back of sight and then got that clutch in to end us into this 4-8.
We saw the near run back. GenG, after having that 9-3 scoreline on Breeze, RRQ, can they do something similar with a similar scoreline of that 8-4? Pistols continue to be something that GenG has had the better of them. 3-2 in that regard. Does that trend continue, or
Focus.
does RRQ start things off with a win? Elmimore is going straight in.
Keberatan tato
Screw it.
itu.
I've got a sheriff.
Why not, right? Again, he's been just so honed in with that. And usually you do see a lot of the Killjoys just use that turret as their only bit of utility. It's free on the pistol, right? Just have that better firepower in the end. Anyways, it seems to be like a full-blown A execute, which may work as its only Munchkin holding. He does have the safety of the wall with Charon. Quick little blade at the start of the round should expose what RRQ are thinking to do.
Pressure on it to Munchkin, not greeting for the orb. You can tell how badly he wanted to try to just grab that. He attempt to fast track defensive null command. Molly into the corner. Wall comes up, thrown. How far forward can it make it? Not very.
Ayo, jaga bareng. Woi. Kok bisa jadi kalah orang, coy? Kok bisa ngocor ya? Aduh, ketahuan gak ada turret ya di mid ya.
We'll go 4-2 in pistols here in the series.
Rusak.
I mean, that was a risk for GenG, no? Because first and foremost, that was a full gassed up toxic screen. So the duration of their push as they're coming into that A site is just
Lihat tuh,
gonna
enak banget dah dia.
players here of RRQ for the entirety of it. And look at how slowly
Enak
they
banget.
that decay damage, not having
Bocornya enak banget.
any clear line of sight of the players of GenG tucked at the back of the site. It's just so many things that go against the favor of RRQ here.
Texture now. Set up here, Outlaw in hand. Clear onto the turret, and oh, he's just so close to swinging into this one. Texture now advancing forward a little bit further, desperately trying to get that line of sight, but wisely, Elmimore, at least for now, does back off. Tailwind expires. Texture now, knowing that he's playing with fire a bit more. Pulls back, but it's like eventually they will move into his
Waduh,
range, and they do.
kesel tuh Hage tuh. Anjir udah miss bisa ini. Gila berani banget nih orang.
70. Texture still hungry for the kill. Swing out. Now down to 7. Chimki with a frenzy of all things at that range is what takes him down. Volley thrown in as the Moshpit comes down.
Kampus.
Up over the top.
Aduh kena stun lagi gara-gara Pikachu dia.
Into his hands, but Jimkin managing to double up with a frenzy. 2 players left. The Outlaw recovered. Flips.
Nice ban.
Scopes in. Check swords back Raptor.
Winnable.
Now with a spike in hand.
30
Start
seconds
shifting
left.
their way over towards B, and there are no more warning signs set up here for Karen.
Unless for Charon, right? The other 2 players are somewhat tagged, but wow, what an entry here for RRQ too. Was only really Texture that was holding the angle. He did have some help from
Nice, jualan satu ayo.
Dude was too far to really influence this, and Texture was holding for such a long time. Confidence abound, having an Outlaw. They just kind of blow up in his face, so this might turn into another RRQ Thrifty.
Flips, he's pulling off
Ah,
the
ini
angle.
takut ya.
Was set up for it, but now they're worried that he might have come in underneath
Dari
too, but I
kanan,
think by the time he
soalnya nggak
swings out
dilatih.
here, Karen might have broken the line of sight. No, he spawns him for a brief little moment, so now they're both well aware. But this is still a precarious position to be in. The HP bar's low. It's going to be point blank. He's trying to rush him down. Swings around, ring around
Nice
the
ban.
figure of yellow. He swings back out.
Nice.
Hits him low, and Chemkin will have the finisher. Outlaw now scooped up into his
Cakep.
hands. The Bulldog recovered. And RRQ
Ayo momentum
with
nih,
a
momentum.
very much needed round win.
Remind you, a Thrifty round win too again. How many has that been? 4 for RRQ here to secure them these rounds?
Something like that.
Yeah. That too.
Enemy.
And this is just, again, maybe just a slight lapse on GenG's side, right? Just holding too long with Texture. Sure, I mean, Texture can hit those shots, but without proper support, too many players of RRQ might be too much to handle, which it kind of did.
Yeah. Well, Meteor does have that Marshall. Has worked magic with it in the past. See if he can hear, but
Nice ban.
Flips. We'll be able to just take him down using that enemy Outlaw against him. Now the full rotation coming in from GenG. Looking to see if they can do at RQ what RQ just did to them. He's on the far side of the wall, can't bang through that one there. Straight out will be able to get Munchkin.
Oh,
Shots
boleh lu ban.
flying abound.
Wait.
Lockyer with that Sheriff in hand will be able to take down Jemkin.
Masa iya?
So some damage dealt.
Nice ban.
Spike not planted, but now it is all on Karen. Here the weapon get dropped. Some shots go his way.
Wait. Wait.
They're on to Elmi Moore. Everybody now
Wait.
pushing in towards him.
Belok bani coy. Outlaw master kah?
A bit of extra money there off the plant, and RQ just 3 rounds separating.
That is Outlaw. These past 2 rounds, so much value. The ROI is insane. Because of that too, because Flipside was the one that was fed all of the kills for the most part, he's already gotten his thrash. So very, very big utility use on the offense. Lock it too, but you know, we'll see.
Outlaw not carried forward. It's just going to be full rifles here as we go into kind of the
69,
delayed bonus round here for RQ. See over the top, not finding
Nice!
much, but oh my goodness, it's straight just
Humble, yeah.
spamming through the wall. Takes down Texture, who does not drop off the rope fast enough
Waduh,
to try to
ngeri
stay
banget.
alive. Munchkin still looking to get aggressive though.
Ngeri banget coy.
Can he find? They're all drifting away. If no one watches for this, which currently Jemkin is,
Waduh.
could be dangerous.
Waduh,
Return
crowd
back.
teriak dong.
Swing
Nah!
out. Jemkin is prepared.
Aduh,
Fantastic
mampus
awareness
lu
here
ya.
from RRQ.
Everyone else from GenG just backing away. I thought there was going to be another one that was playing with Munchkin right behind him. Was that Meteor?
Push,
But
kena
I think he decided
crowd
to just
sama
hold mid,
caster manja
just
ya.
in case anybody was pushing that general vicinity. Now RRQ just, yeah, setting up for B.
Just here at the top, nothing spotted. Everything just chopped up here by these Viper walls. It's the mosh pit going forward to try and delay the plan. So far, held on to. Wingman still available here for Flipshider. Jemkin dropping off the top of yellow. Bringing up around the side to push up through the wall.
Gelo, Jemkin. Jemkin nih bos.
Jemkin with 3. Spike now planted. Meteor the last one standing with no cash.
Wah, momentum coy.
Push them
Let's
back.
go, let's go, let's go.
Maybe even make the exit. We'll just swap over and start drifting away. Try to hold on to this rifle.
he could have decided just to stay with the rest of his team, but if he can save a rifle, possibly for Texture in that next round.
Lihat Estrella tuh, udah bokong.
Timing is good.
Depends on where he wants to try to tuck. Looks like it's going to be right into mid. Alarm bot as well, it screens. If that was heard, which I believe it was, they're going to be ready. Not necessarily for him, never mind. Jemkin will fall.
He knows someone's behind.
Oh yeah, they're looking to hound him down. Shoots at his own turn.
Oh, nice.
That's going to be Elmore. Able to find the kill. Weapons not held on to. RRQ now move up to 7. 3 rounds consecutively for them here in this second half to close the gap.
Wey! Jemkin 2-2, 9-9.
That was only one round won by GenG in the second half. Just the pistol and everything else, as you mentioned, even through this lead gun round, has been taken swiftly by RRQ. This was some sick raids. Like the setup for GenG was to, as we saw at the start of the round, was to allow Texture to safely and quietly get into Nest, and then Estrella's just like, just to clear him out.
Balap.
Wasn't even, you know, like a Guardian, an Odin, a Vandal even.
Yeah.
Just spraying him down with the Phantom. And I guess Texture just fully believed, like, okay, he's just doing a spray check, he's going to stop.
Yeah.
Any moment he'll stop shooting me. Oh,
yeah.
I'm dead.
And I think that was the first time we've seen that specific angle be spray checked by anybody from RRQ. It's usually just the kind of left and right on Nest, but anyways, mentality, they thought something was up. Maybe Estrella was thinking, somebody broke our dart very early. I feel like there's something happening here. His instincts were correct.
It's one time
Jadi
out of
kirim
PC
Basring
between
belum
two
bang
teams.
sama Cambu. Belum
GenG.
Detra.
Hoping that they don't need to use
Mungkin
another
Estrella
here.
orang mana?
It's not for a
Jemkin
while.
orang Rusia.
See what they can
Estrella
cook up, though,
Korea.
as it's a full sheriff purchase, half armor for
22
basically everybody other than
98 77.
Lakia, who does have that thrash at the ready.
Jemkin. Belok.
0 point locked in to begin. As the drone goes up, we'll get the tag in the spot there on a bunch.
Oh, wow.
And now the Hunter's Fury going to be let loose. Really just trying to hound him down, but can't quite get a beat on where he was, but it doesn't matter because Elmore does. Chases in deep enough to be able to get the line of sight. Kill coming across, Jemkin spotting for a brief little moment there.
Itu
Meteors,
Recon
gets
di
his way
situ.
up.
Terus ada smoke-nya si David.
Nano Swarm's now situated.
Turunin gak sih?
Meteor wide swings out into a shooting gallery.
Minimal smoke-nya minta diturunin. Itu kenapa Reconnya di situ?
Trying to go for the defuse. Texture clearing out one. As down off the top. It's a little bit scattered. Then hands a weapon over to Lakia, but he can't put it to
Recon
use.
sebanyak
Jemkin
itu
has the
spot
finisher.
malah di tempat orang smoke loh.
RRQ
Di
have
Recon.
closed this gap
Apa
considerably.
dia
Now
sengaja ya
just one
yang di
round
dalam smoke
separating.
ya? Biar ngedetect dalam smoke kali ya coy.
Committing the ultimate, right? Just goes to show how much
Takutnya
they
nge-timingin
want
dalam
to
smoke kayaknya.
secure on this A site. Right, just throwing it out, and
Terus
the
harusnya
last cards was just to check if there was anybody
Gak perlu
tucked
juga sih
inside
karena
or on the
dia
side
dalam smoke
generator
juga buat
there.
apa?
Also, I do
Gak
like
bisa
how
ngapain
they
juga.
mixed up where the plant on the spike was. It wasn't on default, it wasn't on save. It was there right smack on generator, so that once that wall drops down, or if it doesn't and they start diffusing, they do have better pop shot lineup for it, just in case.
Texture seeming like he's reading this decently well. Flips at the ready, the drone to try to check. There's the tailwind popped. Swinging out.
Oh, wah itu kalau ready ya, Ibani mati tuh.
Blind out onto one. The Thrash going to be playing up close. Texture has to exit. Jumps up onto the high ground, trying to stay safe.
Ayo.
Be brought back over. You can just go ahead and scoop that.
Ayo Bani.
10 seconds.
Untung nggak
Try to go for the
dikukir.
ult once more.
They are calling them back though.
Here.
They only left Xfero to just find some contact. It could work actually, because if anybody's pocketed somewhere on A, that Thrash is going to have, I feel like, a lot more value compared to it pushing up onto B, where any quick follow-ups from RRQ really won't come there until GenG's already ready to receive.
This could play out either way. Xfero trying to go for the catches here into the back, or just making noise and trying to keep them interested onto the site, but now check around. This time Thrash not going to be recovered, but clears the site. Gives RRQ the opportunity to maybe try to go for the rotation now. So full attention drawn. This is just layers of back and
Gelo
forth.
double
Thrash
pack
even
coy.
drawn out from Lakia. As Xfero's
Bagus
gonna
banget.
get very far forward.
Gelo RRQ taktiknya keren banget. Ayo tinggal eksekusinya aja ini.
Between these two teams, RRQ looking mighty.
Nice.
Strike.
Gila,
gonna be taken
keren. Kanan dikit nggak
Back
sih,
in
Oke?
Snowman.
Takut kelihatan. Nah, gitu ya, Oke.
Lakia
Kelihatan
trying
tuh
to
ujung tumit lu
reach back
kocak.
in towards this kitchen. Company by Meteor, was able to find one.
Nice.
Not ready for the close swing from Elmumore. Takes him down, Texture dipping into the cloudburst now. Gun barrel spotted. Munchkin finding the one kill, but then Elmumore swings
Nice.
back out.
Gokil, coy.
Gemkin gets
Taktiknya
Texture
keren,
here,
coy.
tied up at 9-9.
What a masterclass here from RRQ, showing to us how strong being able to dictate the rotation of GenG was.
Ayo, 9 sama nih.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think Gemkin was also able to hear most of the players of GenG on the other side of that smoke, especially the Thrash being committed.
I believe so, yeah. At that point, yes.
Yeah, so at that point, RRQ was like, yes, one big ultimate that we have to deal less with if you go to B. So that's that. And then as you mentioned, you know, the very, very early lurk or forward lurk from Xfero paid so well.
Wah, ngeri nih udah nge-push.
Oh,
untung nahan semua, Cok.
Thrash back into a position where he could have quickly recovered it and then gone for the rotation. They knew that they were just already so far behind and set up in time.
Nahan semua.
They had to just kind of rush it, so it was very much out of the equation. 3 ults to work, though, here for GenG. Pit available from Karan. He is set up over at A, so if they hear any noise, perhaps he's just going to full send that one instantly. It's a Dizzy over the top. Doesn't spot anything. Texture still sat
udah mulai gerak.
Knives in hand.
Ini udah mulai gerak.
Try to go a little bit more
Ngeri nih.
aggressive than he already is.
Wait, udah 57 detik. Kah? Ayo, Kah.
He's pushing up and
tahu.
the knife goes into his shoulder. They're under the Dizzy, they force him back. Lakia watching here behind the crate. Finds one, Karan gets the other. This round started very much slip away here from RRQ. Nice protection.
Nice speed.
Munchkin going to be taken down. Xfero making his presence known here in mid now, trying to break things open. Back nearly gets himself.
Gemes gua anjing. Itu kalau David dapat ya. Wah, winnable banget, Cok.
Cutting through. Meteor hearing this, relaying to the rest of the squad.
Baca karena tekstur kalau
Here from Estrella.
ada knife, gak ada duit tuh agresif mungkin. Mereka udah tahu.
Right up close. He doesn't confirm the kill.
What the
There we
fuck?
go. Will manage to make it happen. That could have been catastrophic otherwise.
Ban, gua style langsung ban. Nice ban. Ban.
The 1v1 versus Karan. 7 bullets. Can he
Yeah.
get it? Yes, he can. Flip shot, it goes absolutely.
Sudah seminggu ku
Hello, Bani, wey.
telur ceplok, dadar dan omelet.
Bani.
Aduh, selalu makan telur. Telur. Tiap hari aku makan telur.
Anjir, gokil coy. Joget coy.
Hari aku makan telur.
Joget lo telur lo.
What a clutch from Flipsider.
Nangis aku Bang Bani, gokil Bani. Terima kasih Flip Jeder meledak. Kilo clutch. Ayo ban. Kill. Tahan ya. Joget telur dia barusan. Apa Pang? Ayo. Bagus ya.
Okay. So for RRQ,
Kill baru 10-9 coy.
now they're gonna have to deal with Texture on
Telur
this
joget coy
operator.
barusan coy.
Texture's alone by himself on that A site. Not sure if RRQ was able to spot that earlier in the round. But for now, they are gonna start working their magic here.
Dan katik kelasnya
Could
GG.
be doable as Estrella does have that dart. So if it's thrown anywhere at the back of the site and spots out Texture, this could be
Wah,
catastrophic
AWP
for him.
lagi si binatang ini, Cok.
Attack just yet.
Aduh.
Falling to push him off the angle.
Aduh. Woi, yang dapat. Wah, gila nih orang. Wah, gila, jagain.
Lockdown comes rolling through, and this is going to be completely catastrophic.
Oh,
Ya, bomnya nggak ke plan ya. Bani ke deten, nggak ada yang tahu. Ayo Ban.
Flips could still be forced with, but he's only going to be able to find the first kill. Karan
Emang harus cabut dari tekstur, Cok.
It is just Estrella left. 10 seconds remaining, no hope in hell. Looking for a target, but everybody from GenG just playing back and not giving
Aduh,
him the
nggak ada
opportunity.
waktu, coy.
As he pushes up onto, he will end up falling.
Susah
GenG,
sih, udah ada
they break
AWP.
the win streak. It had been 6 rounds in a row from RRQ to get the 10, but now we are
Cara
tied up
satu-satunya harus
Texture
ambil
is such
ambil
an
awal
artist with this
kontrol.
operator.
RRQ kayak
Look
tadi
at how
aja
well
yang
he
double
is just
fake.
able to
Sumpah
isolate
biar
fight after
pada
fight,
ketarik.
force RRQ to go to where he wants,
Ambil
where he's
awal.
prepared. And
Balik,
basically, what was
ambil
that,
lagi,
3 kills
jalan.
plus
Wah,
the cancel on
gitu.
the plant with the wingman?
Yeah.
All with just the operator? Absolutely massive.
Jangan ke
from
tekstur,
Texture
binatang ini cok
Still something
OP-nya.
they have to be concerned about. He's going even further forward this time with that op. Thrash being sent. Racing looking for a target, drags it back into a more neutral position for the recovery.
Drone dulu, sabar guys.
Drone spots him. Now they know. Lockdown going to be invested as well. Backup comes through. Munchkin
Oke.
obviously not on the site, so can't try to go for the nice little bounce setup to be able to find the destruction. Wingman set up to try to get a daze, try to get a delay.
Dan mana tuh?
Flip better now. Just going to be hitting.
Dan orang ya.
Swing onto the corner. He's
Wow!
no, Elmymore gets the headshot.
Nice guy, nice backup guy. Gelo.
1-for-1 thus far. The rest, however, can still come through, and they're looking for it. The swing onto the corner. They need to get the punish. And they
Guy!
once again, putting him down to the ground this time for good. Freya fallen. The pit invested.
Ini ultinya.
They come creeping forward. It's going to be a counter
Ngeri
pick
gitu,
here from
Jay.
Karon. Things start getting more and more chaotic. Elmymore now finding himself his third kill. The pit from GenG
Golon
taken
dua, coy.
out of the equation.
Dan!
B2,
Yes!
the ace attempt. Elmymore going to be taken down. Texture taps the spike, but time is dwindling. And Xperia stands his ground.
Anjir, GG Hagai coy.
Again, take the lead by
Hagai.
best
Gila,
way to
Hagai
break down
backupannya
against
bagus banget,
Texture.
sumpah.
Throw
Sumpah
everything
deh.
at him. Just make sure
Gila itu kok nggak
that
Bani
he
mati
does
cok.
not
Habis
get
ngepen.
even a chance to prepare a shot off. And they throw
Lu lihat nih.
again. The
Anjir
lockdown,
tuh harusnya
the
mati tuh
drone.
sama
It does
Munchkin.
secure the site too because there was no one actually there to truly
Ah.
help Texture, even though he had
Ah.
teammates on that
Gelo.
side itself. And then, as you mentioned, it turned into such a confusing battle. The flank coming in from Estrella on mid. Xperia still having to keep himself alive.
Mantap,
So the
mantap.
Viper's Pit would threaten GenG's retake on that
Coy,
side.
coy, momentum coy.
Leading to that one round advantage for RRQ.
What a round for Elmymore. I mean, he's already over halfway to that next line.
Ayo guys. Hajar guys, tekstur guys.
GenG continues to kind of, start up this back
Nggak
and
kecek
forth.
Hagai nggak kecek.
Very well could see that invested, but for the time being,
Lari kek lu laki tuh ambil tuh.
just the jet
Flash
knives
lu.
and the thrash.
Flashnya Geko namanya apa ya? DZ kah?
Pocketed on this corner
Atau ya
here.
beda ya?
Man,
Ada namanya
just
lupa gua.
Texture pushing up for a bit of that map control, right? Both of them just patiently waiting, excuse me.
DZ kan benar?
Get that dizzy, but he's not going to.
Yeah, too risky.
Backs away. Suppression on the one.
Wah,
Jim
Munchkin
getting
udah
caught by
mulai
that. Everybody else, however,
batu
just
nih main di
avoiding,
yellow
so
nih.
doesn't paint that big of a picture as far
Hop
as how many
hop,
players
Hagai dapat A coy.
from RRQ are here.
Ah,
Elmymore taken
nggak
down,
jadi balik coy.
It's a fake.
Tapi
Golden's
tetap
trying
ke
to
A
rotate
sih,
over
udah mau
here
nggak mau.
towards A.
Ya ketahuan
Sparrow
David.
applying some pressure in mid.
Ya David
Spotted out.
ketahuan.
Karon as low as he is.
Gak apa-apa lawan Karon
Needs a
dari
nail
3.
headshot.
Ya
Don't
kebokong.
Alpha mode 2.
Ya kentoy ada
Managed
tekstur.
to find that kill. Now Texture tucked away into the corner. Drops the spike. Looks for a little bit more. Slipshider using
Enggak.
that vulnerability.
Bisa ada nih orang terus anjing di set A. Babi.
Texture will have 3.
Wah bener-bener loh ini.
Round from GenG.
Tekstur. Tiap RRQ mau kemana dia aja terus orangnya bangke. Ngomong-ngomong,
I mean, Elmymore got through the back of the side.
skillnya si
Almost got
Gemkin
down.
kebalap sama tekstur
Right
gitu
here
coy.
is almost, right? The almost flank from Xperia on mid, but GenG.
Wah gila ini deg-degan banget sih. Wah ini gila sih, ini match seru coy.
They were prepared. The fake out from RRQ, they realized it already, start backing away from the site, and while RRQ was moving slowly back onto A, they were already prepared to counteract.
Udahlah match terakhir. Lagi 11-11. Wah gelo.
GenG still have one more in their back.
Jangan diajak main tekstur bener. Skip aja tuh beliau.
Calls it
Beliau
immediately.
bener-bener
Waits to
ngeganggu
see
dong
what
kerjanya
happens in the next round. Probably the latter, but
Dia bikin ulah aja tuh.
high pressure time now.
Lupa skip aja dia, jangan ajak
11-11
main.
with your tournament life on the line. Neither team wants a vacation. They want to keep playing. They've waited long enough. Don't want that early departure.
Big chance too, right, to stack up those champion points, and of course the qualification for Madrid.
Hello Madrid coy, Madrid di depan
This has
mata,
gone
ayo.
to the utmost limit. Like, this has been the closest it's ever been between these two teams in this series.
Pretty much. Recon destroyed. Much of a ping there as rotations very much beginning here for GenG. Drone and the Dizzy. Just leaving Texture in a very far forward position, so he'll play first contact in case that rotation
Gila nih Texture, sumpah. Orang-orang kayak gini nih yang ngeselin, tau gak lu?
Otherwise,
RRQ udah mikir, ah kita ke B aja. Si anjing bisa nge-push A, lu lihat tuh, stuck B tuh, no. Tai beliau. Ini yang bikin-bikin ketai nih.
No one from GenG has actually showed themselves, and as you mentioned, because Texture is so far forward,
Kecil
they
dulu.
know that at least the majority
Ini
of
mah nggak
RRQ's players
mungkin.
should be here on B.
Udah dijagain ini mah.
Ya
Allah, astaga. Harusnya mereka sadar tau gak lu, kenapa rame banget di B. Tuh perkara tekstur binatang tuh loh. Udah dapat di depan anjir. Najis cok, dostak berempat no.
Beautifully set up here by GenG.
Itu meteor, buset dah bisa dapat dua begitu.
RRQ's just gonna be here, and they tucked themselves so well. They didn't show themselves up until
Ya Allah, masa
started
iya
making
coy.
that noise that they're about to take that B
Masa
site.
fake comeback coy.
Just strike fast and hard.
Two orbs for Elmimore would give him a lockdown. One for Estrella gives him a Hunter's Fury. They have the Blade Storm, which is likely going to be popped. You see Jemkin coming out here with that Spectre.
Ayo.
The opposite side, as is the lockdown for Meteor. 0 point gets the catch onto at least one.
Otein cok.
Pushing forward.
Pakai util, nice. Pakai util udah.
Crash goes out.
Check.
Actually doesn't check close, so Lakia stays tucked away.
Ya. Santai lah, bisa kayak gitu dong. Coy, beneran ke B loh, mereka stuck B. Aduh, ente dah.
It's always when you're nearest the goal that you have that one
Tai
lapse
banget,
of
coy.
judgment. Sure, they use that thrash RRQ to check one corner here,
Mesti
but there's
ganti
still
roster sih.
Lakia tucked away. Texture, all he had to do was make sure that he can sell, that he was the only one playing on that yellow position, and Lakia strikes for the win here for GenG.
Gila coy.
You can see still some smiles
Ganti roster
persevering
amat,
on some of the players here from RRQ, but this has got
Iya
to
cuy.
be
Siapa tuh yang
such a
diganti?
rough
Gak tahu
feeling.
sih. Gua mana tahu cok.
Time. If
Unlucky guys, unlucky guys.
They have been bested. They have been there last.
Gak ada. Apaan lu Bang Re?
And they have
Ada,
not
ada.
been able, or last 3 points I should say, and they have not been able to get that win.
Jangan ambil
Closer,
push
yes,
gua.
progress is there. They
Untuk
continue to
tambah
get
juga
back
gak mau
more
cok.
and more with each facing, but that win still
Aduh,
yet
ente
eludes
banget.
them, and so too will their first non-lock-in international appearance.
Ente sih, ente banget sih.
Now
Udah
GenG,
keren.
strong as can be, Texture really cements himself as, you know, the definitive duelist player of GenG.
Dia udah GG
His
sih,
operator,
RRQ.
his contact, his jet, the positioning and everything.
Aduh.
He had single-handedly won very crucial
Nih,
rounds
nih,
here
nih.
for GenG.
Coy,
And it goes to show
sumpah ya.
he is on a mission and he put
Nih,
GenG
kalau dipikir-pikir,
for the playoffs here in Cut.
RRQ itu udah menang. Balik lagi. Round apa adik-adik? Pistol round 1 lawan 3. Selalu terjadi di map Icebox. 1 lawan 3 coy. Kalau enggak lu bayangin tuh, udah kelar. Tapi nggak ada yang mikir bang. Siapa yang nggak ada yang mikir?
You gave us multiple heart attacks throughout the series. Just how thrilled and relieved are you right now?
Eits, interview dulu.
이렇게 오늘 승리로 젠지가 플레이인으로
1-3 피스톨런.
사실 보는 저희는
Itu bisa halfnya tuh
쫄깃해지면서
GG loh.
심장마비 올 뻔했는데
Bisa tinggi banget loh. Soalnya kayak bisa 7-5 menang RRQ. Tadi 4-8 kan?
터질 뻔했던 것 같고요. 저희가 어떻게 보면은 좀 쉽게 갈 수 있지 않았나 싶었는데 전 경기도 그렇고 이번 경기도 그렇고 조금 어렵게 계속 가고 있는 것 같아요. 그래서 더 제가 또한 잘해야 될 것 같다 생각을 하고 네 조금 어려운 경기였으나 그래도 우리 팀이 경험치.
Aduh lemes coy. Streamer yang was seperti orang-orang RRQ gimana? Wah, jalan udah masing-masing coy. Tuh lihat jalan udah sendiri-sendiri tuh. Estrella udah jalan sendiri.
Other teams, I just feel like we could clean stuff up, and in order to do that and for us to pick up a clean win, I feel like I just need to step up for my teammates. But overall, it was just a good day for us. Well, Lakia, you proved the doubters wrong today. You really proved yourself. So, you know, anything you've done differently today, or what have you been working on for the past, I don't know, 2 days? 그러면 라키아 선수 또 오늘 정말 많은 의심을 지워버리는
Ada lemas coy yang stream RRQ. Aduh.
스스로를 증명해내는 모습을
Lemes lah. Nggak, balik lagi ya. Game itu lemes kalau misalnya kayak penentuan terus kalahnya 11-13. Terus ada momen yang harusnya nggak kalah gitu. 1-3 pistoron tuh. Itu bener-bener yang kayak coba pistoron menang.
제가 좀 많이 부족하다고도 느끼고 있고 좀 부진한 경기력을 좀 많이 보였었기 때문에 더 열심히 해야 될 것 같고 오늘 마음가짐은 우리 팀 잘해주니까 그냥 침착하게 할 것만 하자라는 마음가짐을 했던 것 같습니다.
Well, no, I think I've been
4 kata lucu coy.
past 2 matches.
Pistol round kena clutch.
Part of it is because I'm still getting used to the stage, used to
Sabar
such a
masuk gua
big
dulu.
stage like the Pacific.
Aduh ente dah.
But today coming in, my mindset was just everyone in my team is stepping up and it's there for each other. So I really need to do my part, pull my own weight, and I just feel like I still have more to prove as well. Well, RRQ today really made you fight till the end. They floated icebox and it felt like they had full comp.
Udahan ya
They
cuy,
pulled out to
udahan.
maybe counter
Lupa.
texture. What do you think made today ever more challenging?
Tuh, gua harus latihan soalnya. Habis ini kalian bisa nonton di ini ya. GenG ya menang ya. Gua harus ada latihan cuy. Gua mesti latihan supaya kalian bisa menonton. Ya, AE bisa terus biar aku yang di sana. Paox. Ente lah buat RRQ. Pernah gue pengen nonton GE sih, tapi nanti kayak 6:30. Ini nggak bisa juga sih. Ya udah guys. Thank you buat siang ini yang udah nemenin nonton RRQ lawan GenG. Ente banget lah buat RRQ, mungkin depannya lebih baik, oke? Dan jangan ini coy, jangan bersedih coy. Perwakilan Indo gagal lagi. Masih ada ini, masih ada Paparex, masih ada T1, masih ada GE nanti tanding. Gimana lagi ya? Itu ya. Ini itu doang ya. Ada lagi. Yang itu doang. Jangan lupa didukung. Gue berharapnya sih sebenarnya yang lolos itu grand final kan, kalau udah masuk grand final pasti udah auto berangkat master kan Madrid. Nah, T1 lawan Paparex tuh. Jadi ntar finalnya seru, merekanya juga Madrid. Berharapnya sih. Oke, thank you semuanya udah nonton. Mungkin kalian bisa nonton di apa yang masih party. Bisa RRQ rebuild, masih bisa. Banyak kok yang jago-jago, apalagi dari Indo banyak kok yang jago-jago. Tuh, dari Korea, dari apa gitu. Pemain Indo banyak jago-jago. Please. Oke guys, thank you semuanya. Gue cabut, bye bye. Sampai jumpa di next stream ya.
Seseorang untuk Pak Ap baru saja mengirimkan dukungan 10.000. Es teh manis jual aja lah, AJG banyakan blundernya daripada gunanya.
Aduh, sabar ya, sama untuk Pak Ayap. Kus kan jago, iya Kus jago dia, jago. Jangan Kus. Dong, nanti lah itu. Oke, cabut, bye bye guys. Thank you donasinya.